Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So, a massive shout of thanks and appreciation to Smith Tools and Purchase, Level Plain Poem, Vitali Z, Colton James, BG, Survive the Spin, FE Patriot, Thomas van der Zander, Gary Hughes, Measured Flat, Chris Wouters, Sea Level Cultist, Mitch Kennedy, Rod, The Name's Burley, Twadwazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, J Mels 24, Unimento, M Iron 26, Endless, Golden McKinnon, Retro Bill, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Del West Watson, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Texas Mike, Chow Yun Cat, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand across to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Yeah, after I got that order yesterday, it was a struggle to get another one. It's like so weird how life is.
Yeah. Oh well. No, I completely agree. I had loads of stuff arrive though, so I'm quite pleased.
What happened with that person that wanted a refund on that mic?
Well, you shower them with kindness and offer to go out of your way to help them get it working, and suddenly that's a problem for them. So you're like, okay, there's a reason why I go out of my way to make sure these mics are really well tested, because I can call people's bluff. So, watch this space. If he does send it back to me, I'll use it as an example, right? I'll show what I do. That is, how I give good service. I'll turn it into a video. I'll say, this mic's been returned to me because someone says it's broken in the post. Highly unlikely. Let's have a look at whether it works or not. Oh, yeah, it does work. Well, I'll ship it back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you turn it into something good. I got you.
Yeah. Should really click all my buttons, set up the show. We'll do what I say I'll do in the intro. Set up for the live show. Done. Need to set it up so I'm only on one monitor today because it's a nice day, or it's not a nice day. It's I want the sunshine to come in on me, so I'm using one monitor and moving things around on it, which is a bit more difficult. Let's see if I can get a chat screen for when we go live. There it is. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Make it a bit bigger. And there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I had all sorts of things arrive today. I had a really pretty Japanese microphone arrive called an AOI from the 1960s or early 70s, it must be, judging by what it looks like. And I've already tested that and it sounds great. And a whole bunch of stage microphones, and by a whole bunch I mean 3, came. And I like to check them all individually and then put photos of that particular microphone on that particular advert. So rather than just say, I've got 3 of these, it's like, no, I have got 3, but I've got 3 adverts with each mic's pictures, and each mic has got a video of its sound. So as much as I'm selling these much, much cheaper than they would have probably been new, in this case, this mic that I'm talking about now is about 60 quid new, and then retail, they discount it down to about 40 quid. Well, I think I'm selling them for about 20 quid. Which is about right, second-hand, right? But they age differently. Every mic ages slightly differently. So you kind of want to hear what each one actually sounds like. Or at least that's my... What I'm doing is what I want, right? When I was buying these mics, I was like, it'd be so good if I could just hear what it sounded like. You know what I mean? And know that it's going to arrive working. Because that was the other thing. Half of them don't arrive working. So you're like buying them nice and cheap, but half of them are going in the bin because they don't work. They're going in the bin, being sold back on for next to nothing. Definitely not winners if they don't work, which a lot of them from the 60s and 70s, or some of them even earlier, don't work. So you're like, oh, it breaks your heart every time one arrives that's not working. But it's good though, because it means I weed those out, I don't sell them, and then when I do sell something like this guy's bought a Sennheiser. Sennheiser's a really good brand of microphone. So, you know, when you ship it, you're like confident that it's not going to die in the post, as he's alluding to.
What's it called? The Sennheiser? Sounds
It's
German.
a German make. It's a really, really nice mic, the one that this guy's bought. And I've tested it. And it's one of the ones that you're like, oh, I wish I could keep them all. This is a cool little mic. It's a hypercardioid. I love a good hypercardioid. And this one's a really good little hypercardioid. So you're like, I want to keep it. You're like, no, I'm buying them to sell. Test it. And when you're like, oh, this sounds great, you immediately think, I could keep this. Because they're all good when they work. When they don't work, you're like, oh, another one's disappointed me. Hasn't survived. I also bought something else I'm quite excited to test, right? So back in the day, before headphones became cheap and cheerful and mass market, your average Japanese manufacturer would make some average headphones, which were okay, as in good, and they'd make some really high-end headphones. And what I've managed to snag is some new in-the-box 70s Sanyo headphones that use a 200 ohm impedance microphone. That is to say, it's got on the end of like a twist-down arm, like for a regular headset mic. Well, this headset mic's a proper dynamic microphone. I cannot wait to try it. So it's like back in the 70s, they just thought differently. Oh right, you want a mic with you want a headphones with a mic on it. Well, this mic's going to be like a Shure Dynamic. You're like, cool. I want to see what that sounds like. Hope it's good. And the same goes for the headphones. I think the headphones are like 150 ohm, proper studio grade headphones. You're like, cool. I bet they sound ace.
Did you ever see watch an NFL football game? All the coaches got these. They look like really high end headphones with microphones on them because they got to communicate with the coaches that are up in the booth that are looking down on the field to see what play to run next.
That's exactly what these are. These would be them from the 70s. Exactly those. So they're closed. That is to say, they're not letting any sound in through the cups. And then they've got a protected, nice, high-quality microphone attached to them with really thick, heavy-duty coiled wire that's not going to break in a hurry. So it's just, I don't know, they're ugly, but I like that. The more ugly and purposeful something is, normally, it doesn't necessarily mean they're good, but often it means that, no, the only reason that's big, clunky, and ugly is because it's housing something high quality and designed to last. So it needs to be chunky and rugged. So in this case, you're like, yeah, 70s headphones. So like I say, I can't wait because the mic is actually a fairly difficult from the stats. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but from what I can see on the stats, the mic should be fairly difficult to drive, as in you need a proper preamp for it. And again, you're like, cool.
When you say they're clunky and they're made that way, I understand what you're saying because you know how many times those coaches take those headphones off and slam them to the ground when something don't go right. Hysterical.
I'm dealing with sandwich issues. Hey, Central.
Hey, he put a good video. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Liam.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very well. Very excited. Lots of new toys come to play with. It's a good day.
Forget about the toys for a second. Did you post that video of
Me?
that flat Earth guy? No, Liam. Central.
What, the fittest flat earther the other day or the one this morning?
I think the one this morning with like the cartoon image, black and
Yeah,
white.
both of them.
I think we should go over that, Nathan.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no swearing, and the guy's had enough of receiving ridicule, so he wants to point out where people are wrong without ridiculing them. It's quite a fair video, to be fair.
I kind of like him, and if he would get a hold of us, we could tune him up a little bit.
Yeah, he's liking the comments, and I've already invited him. So, but it's fair if you're, if the background, if none of us are talking or whatever. It's quite a few videos in Master B though, so there might be a better one.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through them now. There's loads. Was it this dead letter to dead globers? Is that the one you're talking about?
Correct.
Okay, I'll get it queued up. Where's the hangout gone? Ugh. Over here. Okay, got it. Let's open that.
That some people believe we're not living on a globe. It really f***s you off.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Jolly good.
But still, Neil, I'm still thinking about the fittest flat earther the other day. It's just uncanny that you always complain about the problem that he brought up, and he's going for the same as you. And then typically you weren't really around that day to give you opinions on it. Just how it goes, isn't it?
What is he? A glurf? A flurf? What is he?
He's a flirt.
Doesn't seem to want to scale my G+ hangout very nicely. Oh well.
Anyway, have you heard back from politics mods, Nathan? If you'll be unbanned in the future?
No.
Oh, they
Yeah.
gave us a perma ban. They're a bunch of idiots over there. I think we should never go back. Forget them. They don't want us, we don't go.
Seriously,
Yeah, I was gonna say
a
this.
permanent
Today's the
ban
second
that you
time I've heard talk
can't.
of a new thing for Friday, like a conspiracy Friday. So I guess they're already planning on replacing the show.
That's what they wanted anyway. 11 out of 13 voted permaban. They don't like when we're there. They want to talk about their nonsense.
Is there a way of challenging it?
I think QE is on it.
Well, I'll consider it done then.
Nathan was suggesting that it's a little bit of a bravado what they're doing. They're playing the game, you know?
Why, when Nathan is bringing people to their server with his show, so why wouldn't you just accept the customers? I don't get it.
Because you have people in there that don't like the way Nathan goes about doing things.
Mods specifically.
Yep.
So a Discord mod's equivalent to the Reddit mods back in the day. They become the law.
Well, the two that didn't vote, you know who they are. Jedi and I forgot the other guy's name. But the other 11 voted permaban? Really? Really? That's the respect you have.
What Jedi did?
No. Jedi was one of the two, I'm going to say for a fact, that did not vote for Nathan to be permabanned.
I was going to say.
No, Jedi's one of us.
Yeah, I think AJ has some sway there as well. It might be worth messaging AJ if you can, Nathan.
AJ, I'm kind of wondering where Crit voted. I'm kind of thinking Crit vote was on the 11 side. Was thinking about that yesterday. That son of a gun probably voted to have Nathan permabanned.
You might be
To
right.
be
I've been
honest,
paying attention for a while to the way they've been acting towards Nathan, so I don't know. You might be right.
Yeah, because think of the only two. It would be AJ and freaking Jedi that voted in not to have Nathan permabanned. The other 11 went, unless Crit wasn't involved in the voting, but, I don't know how many mods they have there, but that's kind of strange to me.
I've been seeking out different political servers and debate servers, space servers. That's of a similar ilk to the politics server. And I found a few, and there's a few in the intellectualist server that have made their way over here. But a lot of them are quite tin pot, to be honest. And so there's not a lot going on. Not a lot of people who really take it seriously. Like politics seems something that's quite professional. There's so many people there that they've got to run it well. Whereas there's not many servers like that, to be honest. I'm sure we'll find another one though.
Hip hip cheerio.
Or we could go back to Earth Awakenings and rattle their cages.
You'll just get banned over there too.
Yeah, eventually. We're going to be banned everywhere. Well, we stand alone
Are,
anyway.
are we still banned from the N word over there?
I
Is
don't
Nathan
think they
making a
banned
pot of
us. They
tea or something?
just asked us not to return again for a while.
Well, I'm glad we dealt with that. Now, Righteous also had a word with me, so position in this server isn't always 100% secure either. This is not my server.
That's it. I told him to run along now. You said your piece. We need to get our own server.
Yeah, and our own YouTube.
That's right, our own platform, and we don't got to deal with anybody.
Well, that would probably be the best way. I mean, we do need a YouTube because this demonetization of flat Earth is killed Nathan Oakley pretty much.
Hang on a second, Gene. Are you black?
Killed? What?
Why do people always think I'm black? I'm brown as a bean. Have you seen my picture?
I'm
Did you say
focused on the
brown as a
word killer.
bean?
Brown as a bean, he said, yeah.
But
Except the black
what
beans.
kind
Nobody
of
likes
bean?
those fucking black beans. You don't want to be the black jelly bean.
What's wrong with black jelly beans?
They're fucking gross. No one eats them.
Stop swearing. What's wrong with you? How long you been here?
Hey, hey, hold on. I didn't say the N word, did I?
Well, that's all right then, as long as you didn't do that.
He's been eating blue Smarties.
I don't think blue Smarties are in a protected group. I could be wrong.
Yeah, the ADHDs.
I think
Now
that's knowledge.
wait a second. Wait a second. You're saying blue Smarties. Are those like M&M type candies that my wife loves from Guyana?
Yes, Smarties. They're
Correct.
like a bit like the small M&Ms without the nuts in, but better.
There's a conspiracy theory out that the blue ones give you ADHD.
Man, you know what, guys? I think I have ADHD. I need to try some like lithium. I heard like people on TikTok saying like, "Yo, I tried a lithium pill," and he goes, "I didn't know people had quiet minds." He says, "My mind is chaotic as fuck." And he goes, "People are cheating if they're on this. Like, there's people with like this is normal.
Wow.
Like, people with ADHD, like we don't know normal." I'm pretty sure I have it, but I'm not gonna take no pills.
No, you just need a bar of soap for your mouth.
That gave me some lovely memories. Thank you, Neil.
Have you got your mouth washed out with soap, Liam? Have you?
A few times.
I thought that was all metaphorical.
But look at what a man it's made you. I've never heard you swear.
Very rarely. Sabine Hossenfelder makes me swear.
So Nathan,
Well, I
what
was
can't we
talking
do
to
about
Nathan
the
about
YouTube
that. Hold
situation?
on, Gene. I was talking about that yesterday with Nathan. And because when they come to the book, and they will, they're going to look up this channel. They're going to want to see what this guy Nathan Oakley's all about. And you want to be represented perfectly. Not perfectly, but you don't want them to come in and hear all these F-bombs and mother effers and like this. And we don't need that. We have devastating, penetrating proof. Earth is measured flat. That cuts right through everything and hurts the ballers more than any swear words that you can use at them. That hurts worse.
Okay. How does this... it does work. This is one of the third and final microphones from the IMG stage line bundle that I got of 3 microphones. And they sound really good, I think, because they're dirt cheap, but Chinese and nicely made.
Hey Nathan, how does a Blue Yeti stack up to these mics that you're selling, or just
Blue Yeti is
quality
good.
bears?
It's good. Blue Yeti is a condenser microphone. So this microphone I'm talking into now is a dynamic microphone, which means that the electricity is generated from the power of your voice, if you will. So there's no electricity flowing to the mic to produce the sound, whereas a Blue Yeti is a proper condenser mic. So it's got a electrostatic cartridge that has to be powered, and that is much more sensitive than this. So this has got to be right up on your mouth, this mic that I'm talking to you on now, whereas a Yeti doesn't have to do that. So from that perspective, a Yeti is better than this, a dynamic mic.
But what you're selling is vintage, right? That's the whole, the whole sell of it.
No, not necessarily. This one's not vintage. So this isn't. The purpose of this mic is just to be good and cheap. So I went on the hunt for all sorts of nice handheld mics, and along the way you learn what the pros use. Now, it tends to be the case that what gets sold to a domestic customer isn't necessarily what the guys who are doing conferences or DJs and things like that, people that are earning money and need to talk into a mic will buy. They're not buying a Behringer because it breaks. It's too cheap. So they're buying things like this, which are built like a tank, like an SM58, because that's what it's trying to copy, but also sounds good for a Chinese copy, but will, basically be indestructible when you chuck it into a kit bag. So that's what this is. But nobody's ever heard of it. I was reading the reviews on it. I'm like, I've never heard of IMG. Who the hell are they? But then you go through some of the feedback from the people who have actually bought them, and they're like, yeah, great. always works, sounds fine. Now, what sounds fine mean is it's not breaking, it's not distorting, it's not horrible. Now, is it the best mic in the world in terms of audio fidelity? No. But is it 90% as good as every other mic? Yep, absolutely. That means it sounds good. Because a lot of mics don't sound good, they sound horrible. This doesn't, it sounds good. So I can understand why pros would buy it for 40 quid or 60 quid if it's not on discount. So me flogging it for 20 quid is great. Anyway, enough about mics. This one works. Sounds fine.
I
Enough about
smell a
mics for the
profit.
next 10 minutes.
I smell a profit.
It sounds like money. It does though. This is a nice mic. I like these IMG mics. I specifically sought them out because I'm like, I've got an ABBA mic and I've got a Beatles mic and they're all hundreds of pounds. You're like, what about that guy that wants just a good mic? Doesn't want to spend 300 quid. In fact, quite the contrary, wants to spend 20 quid. It's like, I want to cater to that guy and say, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm buying. These are good mics and they don't cost very much. They'll probably outlast you. You know what I mean? It'll probably work after you're dead. Like an SM58. Anyway, I'm happy with that. That's all three working. From a bundle that the guy didn't know. He's like, I don't know if they work, that's why you can have them cheap. Which is the same with every single mic I buy. Does it work? I don't know, I haven't tested it. Then I want it really cheap. Okay. That's how I make my money with mics. That's it. That's the story of me making money on mics.
All right, Nathan, let's get serious now. Not that the mic talk is not serious. It's how you're generating a second income. But what are we going to do about tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday.
Doing the book tomorrow?
I understand that, but what about, because we usually go to politics.
No, we're doing the
now
book.
That we're
Doing the book
perma-banned.
tonight. Oh, I'm not worried about politics. Right, politics have banned me, Neil. Why are you worried about politics?
So what are we going to do instead? Are we going to stay in our server? Or are we going to journey somewhere else?
I hadn't really thought about it. Do the show. I've got a show, and sometimes we go to spread the word, right? As far as I'm concerned, don't take this the wrong way if you're listening and you're from politics. I'm doing them a favour. I'm spreading the good word about Earth's measured flat. Now, the fact that when I say the N-word, because somebody's N-word bombed my live show, and I'm trying to defuse it, then that, if it's a call to permaban me, no worries. I've gone to politics for a year, told them Earth's measured flat, they know damn well what the score is. Now, if they're like, okay, well, we've sorted out an excuse to ban you permanently, okay, no worries, it was fun while it lasted. Thank you very much for having me, politics. I've broken your rules and you want to ban me for it. Totally understandable. Life goes on. But I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. If they want me to come back, I'll consider it. But it's like, well, you know, obviously we would have to consider what we were doing at the time. Now, our time at politics is over, Neil. Not that it's a concern. Do you not think we're going to be doing...
No, I understand that. I agree with you. I'm just saying, are we going to journey elsewhere, or are we just going to stay home?
Once the book's done, Neil, I need to go everywhere. Once the book's done, I'll say to the politics server, permaban or otherwise, for the show that I used to do on a Friday, I still need to promote my book. Going to do that in your server? And if they said no, I'd be like, no worries, on to the next.
Hey, Nathan, about the ban thing, is it a some type of bot that picks up the N-word, or is this someone actually, you know, pushing the button to say, all right, get this guy out
I have no
of here?
idea. I haven't asked.
Is there
I don't know. So because I've been banned, I know I am banned. That is all I know. And I'm happy to, you know, leave it at that. If,
All right,
if they don't want me there, that's fine. I know I'm banned. I don't need to know anything else.
Also, Nathan, when you release this book, let's say you have a hard copy in front of you, you make a video. Would it be wise to make a separate YouTube video without saying the word flat Earth, you know, to not trigger the demonetization button, or what?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll make any difference. Maybe.
We're not hiding the fact that it's a flat Earth book.
No, because the whole YouTube being demonetized is a huge problem for Nathan. So, I mean, my thing would be somehow get, you know, within the algorithm. But you know, that's I think the channel's already been nuked.
We'll just storm social media like we've been doing. Like I'll share the show on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere I can. And once the book come out, we'll just share the link for the book or whatever for the book
Exactly.
everywhere.
But it's
Just do
like
what we've
playing
been
with no
doing.
tools. You're playing with no ball though.
We're using what we got.
I don't know what you're, Gene,
Yeah,
where have you been? If you think that this is not being heard, this is no longer the corner of the internet in some dark area. I don't care what restrictions they put on. This show's being heard and it's going out. And it's rocking the world.
not according to a YouTube search.
Who cares? They did what they did. We do what we do.
I think you've been sipping the Nathan Kool-Aid too much.
No, did you not just hear what the gentleman said? We'll just storm social media like we've been doing.
All right, so on a good day, what's that? 10 of us.
One of us
It's going
have
to be 9
500
when we
friends,
kick your
300
ass out.
friends.
What's going on? Why is he not allowed to have this opinion? He's absolutely correct. If you search, you won't find me. It's a big problem. He's correct.
We
Why are you
know
having a go at him
that.
for pointing that out?
We don't know that.
You are what we
We've known
call in
that
the
for
States.
years.
You are what we call in the States a dick rider.
A what?
I said Neil is what we call in the States a dick rider.
Like I said, now you're going to be 9 of us because we're going to kick your dumb ass out. It's called loyalists.
I feel like I'm the only one smart enough to see that Nathan has been demonetized, which is a huge problem.
Oh, my God,
And
Gene, we
Nathan knows it.
freaking know that. We've known it for years. What are you, just freaking catching up?
What's he saying? I've been debunked, did you say?
Or demonetized.
I was talking about no, I'm not demonetised. Censored is the word you're looking for.
Same shit.
It is in a way because, yes, my revenue drastically is affected by the fact that no one's finding the videos and I'm censored. Yes, so that does affect my bottom line to the point where I've had to flog microphones.
So, yes, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a path to a new YouTube channel?
Got 4.
Maybe this one doesn't get kiboshed.
They all get kiboshed.
Much better.
Yo. Hello.
What's much better?
You got a proper show, not proper, but a decent showing in teams. Got 4 guys. Yesterday, 1. Could be 8 guys on the panel here, but we'll deal with that down the road.
Neil's my doorman, it seems. He's moaning about how many people have or haven't turned up. There's no obligation to be here, Neil. If no one turned up, I'd still carry on. There's been recent times, where there's been literally nobody in the hangout. I'd just start the show regardless. I mean, at the moment, that might not be a good thing for the audience because I've got a little side hustle that I'm starting with microphones, and they've heard nothing but since I've started doing it, which they probably get a bit sick of if I'm on my own. That's what I'll babble on about, right? Whereas if there's people here, like yesterday, Eli, every time I started piping up microphones, I heard Eli in the background, stopping me talking about microphones because he doesn't want to hear it. He wants to hear about Earth's measured flat. And who can blame him?
Eli was working hard too.
How is Earth measured flat anyway? What do you mean when you say that? Take a tape measure and lay it across the Earth?
I don't think there's a big enough tape measure. But yes, if you were to run a tape measure across the surface of Earth, the inches that you've got on your tape are linear, aren't they? So yeah, you'd be measuring a flat prerequisite Earth because that flat prerequisite Earth must be flat to give your linear distance in inches or feet value. Otherwise, it's meaningless
So
if it's
all
falling away.
distance,
It's not linear anymore.
is it all distance is measured flat?
Yeah, precisely.
Oh, now we're learning. So you got to dumb it down for me. All distance measures are flat.
Yeah, linear. Can't be curving. Miles are flat. They require a flat Earth. That's why your maps are flat and the scales are flat. Because miles are flat. Same with all
So what
distances.
about if I get like one of those waist? If I'm measuring my waist for a pant size,
What about it?
I mean, my belly's a sphere, so
Okay, that's really nice. Glad to hear it.
but doesn't that? I mean, can't that? Doesn't that mean I'm measuring something round?
Yes, it does. Yes.
That's a problem for
Round
flat
like a
Earth.
coin.
That's the point. There's no measurements of the globe.
Yes, you can measure your round belly, but Earth is measured flat.
I'm lost.
At any heights you talk about, heights of mountains, heights of buildings, how high the plane is, all need a flat Earth.
Yeah, so distance in general. So unless somebody's quoting distances in circumferential belly lengths, this isn't going to be a problem for the geometry of Earth. Any evidence we can have gas pressure without a container? A whole bunch of people seem focused on the chicks in space when, in reality, the only reason they're having to show you any of that footage is to delude you into belief that there's a sky vacuum above your head.
Isn't it crazy that nobody knows the other chicks? We all just know Katy Perry.
One of them's Jeff Bezos' other half. And then there's the other ones. There you go. I named all of them.
Nathan, they talk about a
The other one.
gradient.
One of them was 70 years old, and they always tell about the rigorousness of space. You need to go take a fucking 30 G's.
I swear.
Your body has to withstand this and that, and this 70-year-old woman went up there without a helmet. How gangster is she?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
swear,
did you not
that's the
see the
third one.
montage? There was a whole montage with her in it. Training so hard to get us to space. We're gonna need a montage. She went through all of that. Did you not see it getting a little bit stronger with every 2 or 3 slides and each scene change? Did you not see that montage?
All they did was like loosen up her little facelift injection things and let her sag naturally.
Not at all. She was dragging little sticks, oh, you could call them logs even, up a hill. There was very empowering music in the background.
Why are we talking about the gas lamps?
The gas lamps in Narnia? Do you want to explain what you mean by that, Neil?
I gotta
Yeah,
see
well, there's
Narnia. Is that a good movie?
The Chronicles of
forget
Narnia.
it.
It's a book.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
I mean, The Lion, the Witch and the
I
Wardrobe
mean,
has been turned into a motion picture several times.
Did y'all guys ever see The Secret Garden?
Well, the whole thing is a secret garden. That's what he's getting to through the wardrobe. But Neil's got a question. He's saying, why are we talking about the gas lamp? Right, there's a gas lamp on the other side of the wardrobe. So you put on your fur coat, you go through the wardrobe, you're in Narnia, and then you arrive, and there's this gas lamp. Just random gas lamp in the middle of a snowy clearing. What the hell? Neil's got a question about it. Go ahead, Neil.
You sure it's not the North Pole?
Are you sure you're not Neil?
Forget it. I can't with Gene here. He's just an interrupter.
Coming from you.
The idea is that your justification isn't for why there's a wardrobe in an area that you can't visit, I can't visit, we can't visit through the wardrobe. I mean, it's definitely real. There's definitely a Narnia. We all know there's definitely a Narnia. And that men and women have gone through the wardrobe together. We all know this. Now, we don't need to have gone there. But what we should question, given that we all know it exists, is how does that gas lamp get its gas? Is Mr. Tumnus bringing buckets of the gas that doesn't expand out of the buckets and fill the gas lamp up from the bottom? I mean, what gives? Is there a pipe system that comes from the White Witch's castle? What the hell? How does the gas lamp work? There's nobody asking this question. Surely we should, knowing that Narnia is real, debate about how the gas lamp works, should we not, Neil?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk
Why are we
about...
talking about the gas lamps?
So let's talk about the door and how it opened on the ground. Because nobody needs to know about the sky vacuum that they all definitely visited to float around in. Obviously, that area 10 to the minus 17 tore the black area that they were looking out the window at. Yeah, that's real, obviously. But we don't need to discuss that. It goes without saying that Narnia, I mean the sky vacuum, is real. We all accept that. We're not going there ourselves. Katy Perry went there for us. Thank you, Katy Perry. What's that? The door didn't open properly. We better discuss this at length. I need to know how that gas lamp works. Notwithstanding that Narnia is real.
Maybe Patricia Sphere will give them a hero's welcome.
The people coming back from Narnia get a hero's welcome and a ticker tape parade from Patricia Sphere.
Not Patricia Sphere, Patricia Sphere.
Patricia Sphere? You're out there listening. How you doing, Patricia? Hope you're well. Globe, you say? No. Earth's measured flat. Obviously 10 years in the subject didn't teach you much. Yeah. I mean, all of these old numpties that just vanished from flat Earth around the same shilly time that Jaren did, maybe they could come along to me and explain how it's a globe again. You know, relinquish me of this awkward position where I have to be censored. What with it all being globe-shaped, like you all know, and that? Like the mainstream rhetoric would advise you. Maybe Patricia Steer can let me know how it's a sphere again. What was it that led you back on the board, Patricia? Please enlighten me.
It was that nice car she got out of it. Drove her right back.
Don't mention that. You'll get sued. Mark Sargent's getting sued by her for just suggesting that she got shill payment and bought a car with it. Don't mess with Patricia, man. When she's transitioning back to the ball, you don't want to mess with that sort of person.
You made a mistake. She's transitioned already.
Well, she's transitioned from globe to flat, and then she's transitioned back again. Often when people transition, they change their mind, and they want to, what's the word? Detransition, I guess. And more power to her if she wants to detransition. It's up to her. I mean, I'm just suggesting that upon that process of detransition, she should come and tell me what has led her to her process beginning. What was it that, you know, led you to know beyond all doubt that Earth's a ball? I'd love to know. What's that you say? Look at this hand. Mark Sargent's getting sued. Car not been bought with shill payment. I couldn't give a shit. Tell me why you're back on the ball. I need to know. What was it that convinced you? Was it Robbie Davidson? Was it Paul on the plate? Maybe Jaren. Which one of these shills convinced you? Sleeper shills. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Nathan. Hey, everyone.
How is it going?
Oh, good.
We've actually got a video to cover from a flurf today.
Oh, good.
This guy's called Not Paranod. as in presumably not paranoid. Okie dokie. That's never going to show up. No one's going to remember that name. You need to come up with a more memorable name, because that's not going to get typed in easily. Anyway.
Nathan, we can help this guy along.
Can we?
Yeah, you'll see when you play the video. I'll go on mute.
Why would I want to help him? I don't even know him. What are you talking about?
When you hear him, he's very likable when you hear him, but it's just he needs some fine tuning.
Let's just get something cleared up here, right? Just because I once said fittest flat earther was quite amiable, I think I said something to that effect, doesn't mean I'm going to like other flirfs. What are you thinking?
I'm saying I listened to it. I kind of like him, but he's a little stuck and he's a little outdated.
Oh,
he needs
I see.
Catch
You
up to
kind
date
of like
with
him.
the flat earth debate.
You kind of like him, do you, Neil?
Yeah, I like the guy.
Well, that's good to know.
Just needs a bit of fine tuning, Nathan.
Okay. Right, let's get into him.
It really bothers you, doesn't it, that some people believe we're not living on a globe?
Who's he talking to? He's not talking to me.
Well, the video is titled "A Message to Globers," so it's to the Globetards.
Should really have read that first. You're not wrong, Liam, as it was you that suggested this. This video is called An Open Letter to Globe Believers, heart emoji, love from a flat earther.
Really you off, even though we're not living on a globe. Imagine being that smug, that arrogant, that rude, whilst at the same time being that wrong. I only started this channel a few months ago, and in that little amount of time, I've endured some of the rudest people I have ever come across. What makes these people so rude? The belief that they live on a globe. A genuine...
No, I don't actually agree with that straight away. No, I think people are people, and what actually leads them to be rude to you is their projected concern about the subject. So they've got to worry about it, and they need a patsy or whatever, scapegoat, whatever you want to call it, to project that concern and fear onto. That's why they're being rude to you. But it wouldn't necessarily matter if it wasn't this subject. That is to say, if you were talking about kettles or hairdryers, or in my case, microphones, you'd still have somebody telling you that you're wrong, or you're an idiot, or that you should go and drink bleach. There's always one. There's just, people are nasty. So the subject isn't necessarily clean in that regard. I get why you're saying it, because it's more likely to result in that outcome. So I get why you're highlighting it, because it does happen a lot more often for a flat earther by stereotype. But I think that's not, as I say, because of you telling them they're not on a ball. It's their concerns that they might not be a ball. So it's just a slight phraseology twist, which say it's projected onto you.
In question now, why does it trigger you so much when somebody claims we are not living on a globe? Don't answer.
That's a good question. Why does it trigger them? In other words, why? Yeah, now you're right on topic. Now you're right on the mark, right over the target. Why does it bother you is the perfect question, in fact, especially after my little preamble to it. Yeah, exactly. What is it that concerns you as you invent some unknown, faceless strawman flat earther that you say suggests something that you can overcome? Why? Tell me you don't. You're not doing it because Bigfoot's out there being talked about being real, and you know damn well it isn't. Not because alien little green men from a sky vacuum are real. You're not out there telling them people that they're stupid idiots, right? You are here telling flat earthers. Yes, because you are concerned about it. You being the globe's believer in this scenario, this guy's discussion. That's the perfect question. What is it that concerns you about this?
Answer it, because I'm going to answer it for you. The reason you are triggered so much is because you can't even begin to comprehend that you have been fooled. You can't even begin to contemplate that you do not understand where we are. That's...
Yeah, exactly. And in lieu of contemplation, they project said contemplation, which it is, so you're not quite right, onto third party, in this case you or me. So that contemplation is, the flat earthers say that. Insert bullshit they're contemplating and concerned about here.
You could be wrong. The globe model represents your intelligence, and for that to be wrong threatens your intelligence. And
spot on. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, most people...
No, he called it a model.
Okay, well, without the critique of it not being a model because they haven't got one, they'll never show him. He doesn't know that. But psychologically, his assessment is correct.
And so you go on autopilot defense mode. Did you not listen at school? Where is your evidence? Are you retarded?
Yeah. So where is your evidence? See, immediately he's describing the scenario where they're challenging him to prove these things that they are, and he has already identified, concerned about. What is it that you are worried about? This was correct. But then when he describes how they'll talk to him, it's asking him in the most grotesque of tone that he's illustrating with this horrible face he's got on at the moment, and he's right, what he has to say about it, how he will answer it. It's like, why? Because you can't wrap your head around it, fathom it, and figure it out for yourself, so you need to project it onto me as stupid. Yeah, we know.
I did listen at school. A school system created by the Rockefellers. You are defending a school system taught to you by evil people. Do you really think they're...
I don't know about that. I mean, the teachers themselves are just people. The institution behind the school, the government in our country, that's a bit of a stretch when you're talking about someone's reaction to the earth being flat and discussing it with yourself. To say the Rockefellers and the church and the institutionalisation of these systems is to blame for this scenario with you personally, I don't know, this is a bit of a stretch.
They're going to be telling you the truth. They tell you lies that suit their evil agenda, and that is why you believe in the globe. Show me some evidence. There is plenty of evidence that we are not living on a globe. The physics of water. It does not bend. It always finds its level. Radar would not work on a curved earth. There is no measurable curvature. You can still see...
Yeah, he was doing all right. He was laying out the flat earth proofs until he said there's no measurable curvature. I mean, he's right, but it's like 2025 as a minor critique. Yeah, lead with what he did. In fact, I'm not even going to critique it. Excellent. Lead with it. Lead with how Earth's flat. Radar's a perfect example of that. Epic. Water. Perfect. Yeah. The physics of water, as you phrased it. Perfect. Not being curved. Nah. It's a bit meh. There aren't any unicorns. Are you saying that your standards are that the lack of unicorns counts as evidence? I don't know.
See things miles and miles away, which you would not be able to see if the Earth was curving. That's just...
So what? We see too far? Would not be able to see if the Earth was curving? This is their position that you're postulating on their behalf now. Why would you do this for them?
Three things. There's plenty more. However, the most potent evidence is common sense and thinking for yourself. This is ridiculous.
What about common sense? Earth is measured flat. Don't need common sense when we're talking about the geometry of Earth. This is an elevation angle. It's how you measure the sun. If you want to challenge somebody who went to Antarctica, for example, in regards to how Earth gets measured, you measure Earth flat in Antarctica for the sun above the horizon for a 24-hour period. It's called an elevation angle. It's a measurement that requires Earth be flat. It's a prerequisite. It's a requirement for it to be an angle. This angle on screen. That's not me and my, common sense. That's a flat Earth measurement that I can demonstrate quite easily.
People walking about upside down. Water sticking to a spinning ball. We are supposedly flying through space, chasing...
What are we? Why are you suggesting this? This is their claim. Why are you suggesting that we're supposedly flying through space? I thought you said the sky was a flurf. Who said the sky was a flurf? Wrong, he's just said we're supposedly flying through space. That's what he's just said.
In the sun at vast speeds, whilst at the same time keeping the perfect distance to maintain a livable environment. A livable environment in which...
No, the Goldilocks zone was invented after the fact. The distances are set by back calculating angle measurements to the lights in the sky off a flat Earth. But the Goldilocks zone is invented after the fact. It's not part of the mathematics of these distances, so you're wrong. You don't know the heliocentric story. Don't bullshit your audience that you do know it. This is incorrect. That's not where you get the Goldilocks zone from.
Which you do not feel motion ever. Now, in terms of your evidence, show me a real photo of the Earth. I'm waiting.
Yep, no critique here. Perfectly fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You can't. And the fact...
Yep, no, they can't. Yep, nice, short, sweet. Make every point like that. That's ace. Anybody disagree with what I've just said? Epic. When it's 20... Not even 20 seconds. 5 seconds. There's no pictures of Earth from space. Then he flashes up all the CGI garbage. Why? What isn't the one? Because they can't take one. Now let's see if he backs it up with why they can't take one. Let's just see if he does that.
The fact that you not claim that these photos are real really goes to show the level of your indoctrination.
No, that's an attack on the audience member. That's not that. I would say this is the reverse of what I typically describe with the ballers. This is his projection. He doesn't know why they're fake, does he? Already said you can't have gas pressure without a container, or something to that effect. The sky is not a vacuum. You can't enter an area or volume that doesn't exist. To take pictures of a gas on a blue marble not expanding into a vacuum. He's not saying that. He's projecting his lack of research, like the ballers do, back onto his audience. Round and round we go.
Now, in regards of my reincarnation, I don't believe...
Sorry. Not really. I mean, no, too critical of the guy. He has to, like, he's only new in it. He has to reference their paradigm.
Oh, yeah.
Slightly wrong. Yeah. How is he going to do it? Like, he's reference. What's the point of the video otherwise? This is two globe believers. I mean, what's he supposed to do? You're being too critical on him. You're saying what he doesn't.
I love it.
You don't understand, and that's correct, and blah blah blah. It's like, give him a break.
This is also projection. This is pure projection. Brian is also guilty of this. Let's just point that out straight away.
All right.
Yeah, you do this too. You moan at me when I moan at you, don't you? No answer. When Brian gives them their paradigm, I'll step in and moan about it, and Brian will say, I've got to give them their paradigm and justify why. Well, I'm not going to change my stance just because you feel it's justifiable to give them their paradigm. No way.
I don't give them their paradigm. I give them the implications of their paradigm. There's a difference. You don't listen. That's the problem. Not a Brian problem. It's a Nathan problem.
Whatever.
Yeah, tell him, Brian.
You tell him.
Yeah, I will.
Water can bend. I don't believe cargo ships are floating about upside down, sticking to the underside of a globe due to gravity. And yet little birds are not affected by said gravity as they fly above the ships, upside down. And
again, this is ignorance on his part. He doesn't know which gravity he's supposed to be debunking, because unfortunately it works both ways. If your opponent on the ball side doesn't know that gravity's been superseded as a force to hold things, as he's describing 110 years ago, then you don't know what you don't know. Well, when you're trying to counteract that from the flat Earth perspective, if you don't know bent pseudo-geometry, you don't know it, right? That's just how it is. So he's addressing a non-force force that you can think of as a force that isn't really a force and hasn't been a force. That's what he's doing. He doesn't know he's doing it, but we do. Again, no one's going to criticise me for this. It's just the facts. Yeah? We want to get people to the current gravity as quickly as possible. People are held in the old 110-year, out-of-date, dusty old Newtonian force of gravity because it intervenes. I should start pointing this out more often, right? This is where Brian gets a big, massive load of props after being critical of me. Just sometimes it works out, eh? There's a reason why they have to retain. I never knew this. Brian does get absolute credit for pointing this out, right? Because I didn't realise until Brian said it. Why do they need to retain a force of gravity? Moon landing. That's it. It is just that simple. Do you want to expand on that a bit, Brian? You don't have to. I think doesn't need it.
Yeah, the reason is because when they were showing the 1969 moon landing footage, right, claimed moon landing footage, what they couldn't show on camera general relativity because there's no way to show general relativity with it, like in a three-dimensional physical video. There's no way to show it. So they needed something. So they used the force of gravity. Consequently, after that, they couldn't change. They had to keep on every video that was supposedly from space, had to, right up to the ISS and right up to today's Blue Origin, had to involve basically people being weightless or being not as heavy as they are on the surface of their globe. So because of that, they had to basically, because of what they had to do, they get them to convince people they had to use a force of gravity, which means that the astronauts on the moon were only 1/6 the weight they are on the globe Earth, right? So because of that, they have to keep teaching people this, even though it's been literally eviscerated within their own paradigm officially, right in the background. But in the foreground, they keep teaching the kids in school this, and they tell people, "Oh, it's only because it's easier for people to understand." Yeah, but it's still not part of your paradigm anymore. So why are you teaching it? Most people could not. I'd say, unless they listen to this show, there's not a teacher in the world that could tell you why they teach that to the kids. or that much, because the teachers probably think that is gravity. Because it used
I've got
to
to
be.
expand on that now. Sorry, I've got to. There's a reason Brian's using the example of teachers specifically, because to be a professional teacher, you are going to have gone through the higher education system. So there is a very good chance that you're aware at some level, thanks to your further or higher education, that gravity is not a force. But they're still going to teach it, right? And
Yeah, they have to. If they want to keep the moon landing alive, because if the moon landing goes, it all goes. Do you know what I mean? That's like if we were playing Jenga, that's like the bottom block, isn't it? The moon landing is everything. So if that goes, it all goes. So they must keep the force of gravity alive, because so when people look at any claimed space footage, they're looking at a force of gravity. So that's one thing is enforcing the other. You know what I mean? That's the problem. So that's why they can't get rid of it.
If you transition fully into pseudo-Riemannian bent geometry and relinquish, as someone like Cox will do quite confidently, there isn't really a force of gravity at all, end quote, Brian Cox. Okay? So then the demonstrations of the force of gravity are bunk on the moon. Now, you don't have to explicitly draw on that connection because your school children are told that you can go to Button Moon via a little rocket ship through the sky vacuum, and the examples given in the moon landing footage are affirming that which they're taught throughout their lower education system up until high school.
Even last night, right, in Master B, I posted a link to an article where they're talking. This isn't the second one of these articles, or third one of these type of articles I've come across in recent times, where they're trying to say that gravity might not be a force at all. It might actually just be an electromagnetic interactions issue. So it's like they're nearly trying to lean on the whole ether and dielectric acceleration thing at this point. So, so they're just claiming it may not be a force. It might actually just be electromagnetic, blah, 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 which would kind of still make it a claim of a force. But the point being is that they're trying to move away from it, but still try and hold on to it. So they can't let it go.
I don't believe Katy Perry went to space. You believe all these things, and yet I am retarded. Now, the reason I've had to write this open letter to Globe Believers is because of all the hate I've been receiving. What happened to respecting others' opinion? I happen to believe...
Yeah, that makes no sense. So, all these people are sending me hate, so I've written them a nice letter. I haven't heard, mate. That's not normally how I deal with people who hate me.
Believe what you believe is stupid, and yet I don't call you stupid for some reason, just because somebody...
It depends. You can if they are. What I like to do is go through their examples that they offer me when trying to prove a globe and point out how there are flat earth prerequisites amongst their claims. Then, if they've used them without realising, I'll call them stupid, because that is stupid.
He doesn't believe the same thing as you. You believe...
This isn't a belief. No. That's not why these people get angry. They want me to have a belief in flat earth. The fact that I have an absolute stone-cold knowledge of the fact earth is flat is unchallengeable. So, no, it's definitely not that I need them to align with my belief, or that I believe they think I have a belief in something when I demonstrate how Earth's measured on a daily basis.
Believe that gives you the right to insult, to belittle, to basically bully that person. And you all hunt in packs. It's like a flat earther is an injured duck in a pool of piranhas.
I'm not. Well, you might feel that way. This is slightly telling, my friend. You saying that you feel like an injured duck. I definitely don't feel that way. Yeah? On the contrary. Yeah? I'll kick ass and take names. I'm no injured duck. You may feel that way, and you may want to tell an audience that they perceive you that way when they descend on you in your comment section. Me, I definitely don't feel that way.
You'll go into a feeding
Are you more of a lion, Nate?
Absolutely. I would say more of a tiger.
Tiger, right?
Or a shark.
Did you not go to school? Where is your evidence? Are you retarded? As soon as a Glober posts a comment insulting a flat earther, another Glober will see it and get a globe bone. And then they will post an insult and wait for the insult to get a like. And when it does...
I heard that every time a flat earther gets insulting comments, a unicorn dies.
their globe boner will get stronger until eventually there are hundreds of globers all surrounding the same comet with massive throbbing globe boners, all on the verge of spunking because their beliefs have been given the seal of approval. You all get off calling flat earthers stupid when you are wrong.
No, they're not. You've got it wrong. It's not that they're getting off on it. It's pain relief. They're in pain and they need to relieve that tension. It's like a pressure valve being released, as opposed to it's not like a massage where it's all nice and you're getting a steam bath. No. It's like a pressure that's built up in a pipe and has to be vented somehow. Now, you become their outlet for that pressure being vented.
I'm not going to call you stupid like you call me stupid.
You did. You've already done that. I've criticised you for it.
Because it's not stupid to be a victim of brainwashing. I believed in the globe for 35 years, so I understand why you hold on to your belief tightly. It's difficult to comprehend that we live in a world where the people in charge would lie about something this big. But when you understand who the people in charge are, what they
Do you understand who the people in charge are?
are doing to us, what they think about us, the lie begins
What do they think about us? This is an appeal to motivation fallacy.
to make sense. I know that some of you would never even question the globe model because the brainwashing runs that deep. But for those of you with an open...
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I know what they think of us. They think we're idiots, and they hold us in contempt, like all lawyers do to their victims. They don't think any different. He can name out names, but I know what they think, whoever they are, that they are lawyers. So you telling me that the astronauts and those who know that the astronauts are not going off into outer space, outer heliocentric airspace, that they're not laughing at you, they don't hold you in contempt? Absolutely they do.
Maybe, but I would say more likely they live in pain also, right? It's written all over Neil Armstrong's face. Go and have a listen to his final address, his final public address. It's in some university and he's talking to a load of like late teens, early 20s girls and guys about his experience. And he's talking about lifting the veil. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I know of it, but with someone like Armstrong, I would say he was more. I would say with Armstrong and me and some of them, they were probably more pressured into it. Say it was through fear.
Sure, but I'm saying
Maybe not, I don't know.
I definitely don't see, especially Armstrong, right? Rest in peace, as being just out to deceive you scumbag who, as you describe it, is just laughing at the fact he's getting away with this deceit. To me, he seemed in turmoil. Is that the right word? Like, it weighed very heavy on him.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't people who haven't been honest and feel bad about it, but there is people, and we all know them. Look, why does a lawyer lie? Because they know that there's a good chance that you'll believe them. It's not
Exactly.
about.
They think you're stupid. When a liar lies to you, he's saying you're stupid enough to believe me.
Yeah, that's the buzz the lawyer gets out of it. It doesn't matter what the lie is. The lawyer is into the buzz. You know what I mean? That's what they're into. They're into the buzz. You know, so it doesn't matter to them what they're lying to you about. Makes no difference to some of them.
Sure, but that lie with certain astronauts, especially Neil Armstrong, when people say, "Oh, I think he was forced into it," or something like that, although I have no clue, I find it easy to agree because it's written all over his face when he talks. He's not laughing at me. He's not up there so that he can get his duper's delight when he's lied about going there. In my
There's
mind,
a sense of shame.
Yeah, you got there quicker than I was going to get there. But yes, exactly. There's a very distinct sense of shame when he talks. Weighs heavy on him. I don't think he wanted to be lying about it. I think he wanted to go. Have you ever seen Neil Armstrong testing some of those vehicles, landers and stuff? Some of the stuff,
he thought he was going to go, and
that
he didn't
guy
go.
risked his freaking life in those machines, testing them. He was a very skilled test pilot. Neil Armstrong, this is right. First man alleged to be on the moon. And there's a man who dedicated his life to testing out the equipment that was going to get us to the moon. Now, when I see him ejecting from some of these things and knowing what those ejector seats do to your spine and how painful they are when they put you under 20G instantly, I go, oh my God, this man's means business. So when you see him with Who's the guy who did The Sky at Night? What's his name? Patrick Moore. When he's interviewing them about what they saw, Patrick Moore has every ounce of passion and enthusiasm for the questions he's asking as I would ever expect from some subject matter expert. He's a geek who loves talking about the stars. So when he's asking about the solar corona, he really wants to know because he's keen to talk about this subject. When they reply, especially Neil Armstrong, he sounds like someone just took a dump in his cornflakes.
Yeah, he wouldn't give an interview. He only gave 2 interviews, I think it was, after he supposedly came back from the moon. So that kind of, to me, means either he doesn't want to have to deal with being an actor, or he outright knows that he just told a lie and he can't deal with it.
Well,
I would agree that up to, I know, then again, I don't know for definite. But
there's a good chance, though. There's a Richard...
Liars like to lie. Go on.
Well, there's a Richard D. Hall analysis. He paid out of his own pocket for a forensic statement analyst to go through and forensically study whether or not he perceived deception. Not lying, just he could only hunt out changes, deviations from a standard that they establish, a baseline as they call it, and therefore give his assessment on whether or not there was deception in the responses to Patrick Moore. And he came up with an unequivocal, yeah, these guys are lying through their back teeth, as a very vague way of saying it. Yeah, not vague, less committal. But no uncertain terms, yes, there's deception afoot. He's not going to say they're lying, because nobody's doing these sorts of analysis would. But he's doing these analyses for the FBI and, you know, the police and high-ups that are paying him in the same way Richard D. Hall paid this guy to analyse that very interaction, right? And the conclusion was, they're liars. That was the conclusion. Now, he didn't say specifically they're liars, like I've just disclaimed, but with as much weaselly, I can't say certain things around it, the guy basically said, these guys are lying. There was no other way to dissect the analysis. And he was quite shocked, and he was peppering it with, you know, I don't want to be, you know, pouring scorn and suggesting they haven't done what they're saying they've done, but there's definitely deception here. Things like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a baller. The statement analyst couldn't freaking believe it. As is Richard D. Hall. These are ballers.
The problem is, they'll accept that there was lies, but they won't accept the reason why there was lies. They won't accept the reason for the lie, which is that the sky can't be an open vacuum. Simple as.
Yeah, we're not at high pressure gas, which we definitely are, next to a vacuum, which we're definitely not. So that is the reason we need Katy Perry to be going up to
without container.
Without containment.
You missed. No. We do have a low-grade vacuum in the sky, but you can't have one of those without container. Because you can't have gas pressure without a container. You can't have the vacuum without having... You couldn't know what a vacuum is without knowing what gas pressure is. Do you know what I mean? You can't have gas pressure, temperature, or a vacuum without container. They're claiming we have an open vacuum. That can't happen. We're in a closed dynamic system. You can only have... There's no such thing as an open dynamic system, regardless of what people want to say. Right, we're in a closed dynamic system. The reason we have the system we have, the reason we have the gradient, the reason we have weather, the reason we have seasons, is because we have a moving heat source. Radiative heat source, the sun. That's why. If the sun wasn't there, we wouldn't have a gradient. I guarantee it.
Mind, I urge you to look really hard at the evidence. We are being lied to, ladies and gentlemen, about everything. And the lie about where we are is the biggest lie of all. It's mad, yeah, because there are so many awake people out there, and I'm trying to find them to build a community and spread the truth. So I joined Flat Earth groups on Facebook and Reddit. But they are all infested with globers. Globers are so triggered by Flat Earth that they join Flat Earth groups to gang bully Flat Earthers. So much so that the Flat Earth people that may have once been there have vacated to get on with their lives, leaving the Flat Earth groups.
You don't know this. I hate this sometimes. I like the video overall, though. I mean, 70% of it was excellent, so I can't really not give it a like and recommend you go and give this guy a bit of love. So this particular video, Not Paranoid, is being linked in the YouTube live stream chat now. So please, as I'm doing the call to action, go and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube censor bots. Or indeed, if you're one of my globe-believing audience members that I'm very grateful to have here, do the same also. Please let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. Why did I put it in that way this time? Unlike most times while I do this call to action, I am actually suggesting you do this now if you're in the live stream chat. Like, this is the little waffly bit in between where I say the same thing 5 times so you can actually go away and do it. But there's the link. Go and let him know. Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. Give him a bit of love. Give him a like. But I have definitely seen my globe-believing brethren. These guys are just the same as us, right? They're asking the same questions. The fact that they're, haven't got a big enough pair of balls to not project it onto next man rather than man up and accept that they're asking these questions, right? That's neither here nor there. They're the same as us. And they also go along to these videos and let people know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. I've seen it done. So I'm going to thank them personally. If you're one of those ballers, you know who you are. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I don't know if they're exactly the same as us, but what you said earlier to that, you said on the last thing that the guy said you did, when he was saying that all are congregated in a place where there was flat earthers, and basically they wash out the flat earthers, right? And you said you don't know that. Well, I do know that. Go to my channel. There's only a couple of flat earthers that will ever comment there because there's no end of ballers in there, in droves, all agreeing with each other, and all looking to argue with anyone that says that. And any new people or anyone that wants to stand about flat earth. So that's what they do. They bully. They have to bully. That's what they do. They try and bully people out of it.
Yeah, but where are they? There's no ballers here. Like, where is he going that's overrun with ballers? Does he mean in comments?
Well, he
because
said
I
forums
can't find any ballers.
He said forums and places like that. So I'll go to my channel and see exactly what he's talking about.
He's saying, like, if you join a Facebook group specifically, you'll go to a flat earth group, and what you want out of a flat earth group, or I can only go from my experience, what I would want out of a flat earth group, what I wanted, past tense, out of places like Ballbusters, let's make it specific to my experience, would be that you get there and they start talking about how Earth's flat, and how they damn well know it. Now, I didn't get that when I went out on the prowl for this sort of information 10 years ago. It wasn't available in the way I would have wanted it to be. And what this guy's moaning about is that when he goes to a flat earth forum, what's the flat earth forum got? Oh, well then, a litany of ball believers who want to chastise anybody that says Earth's flat in there and call them a moron when it's a flat earth group. So he's saying that they infest these Facebook groups to outnumber and bully the flat earthers in there. And what I would hope for when joining a group like that was someone like me in there going, oh yeah, you realise Earth's measured flat. Here's an example, elevation angles. Here's an example, this guy's example, radar. And point out how it proves Earth's flat and have that be the discussion. Instead, you'll have a litany of ballers telling you you're a retard. He's correct in this identification. Anyway, the amble was to get people to go and actually let him know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. The link to his channel is whizzing its way by, and I don't just say it for my health. I do actually want you, if you are in my live audience now, I don't know how many of you there are, if I could speak English. I'm going to go and have a look, though. 97 people. So there's almost 100 people watching. So this should definitely make a dent in this guy's numbers, right? Go and subscribe to the guy. If you're on my show, baller or flatty, you can join the numbers to as he's suggesting, bully him. No, I'm not suggesting you do that, but that's what he's suggesting might happen if I encourage the ballers who listen to go, because it's kind of playing into his example currently on screen, but I can't help that. That can't be helped, mate. It's just coincidence that when I send people your way, I do actually, and I am actually grateful to my ball-believing audience. They're entitled to believe whatever they like when they use our flat earth measurements.
Full of nothing but triggered globers. Chances are, if you're watching this now and getting angry, you found this video from a flat earth group. So my message to globers is, it's not your fault you are wrong. I used to be wrong too. We live in a world full of lies, and we should be focusing on the liars. We shouldn't be arguing among...
Should we? I would disagree with that as well. So you find out that someone's lied to you. What do you think happens when you focus your attention on them? What do you think they do in response? Do you think they become
Lie
honest?
to you more.
Yeah, Neil's got it. What was that, Neil?
They're going to lie more.
Yeah, turn your back on them. That's what you do. Once you identify them as liars, turn your back on them completely.
Amongst ourselves when it's quite clear and obvious that we are being suppressed. I hope one day that you won't feel the need to insult me. I hope one day you will see the truth, but if not, that's okay, we can still be friends. I wish you all the happiness in the world, regardless of the shape of the earth.
A good attitude. I like this more. This is better. This guy's proper blowing hot and cold, isn't he? Sometimes good, sometimes not so good.
Lots of love, a flat earther. Actually, I prefer the term globe denier because we don't actually know what the hell it is. All
Yeah, I do. It's measured flat.
Yeah, that's the part I wanted to get at. That's why he needs some fine tuning, and he needs to find us. He needs to understand that Earth is measured flat. We do know.
He just went down the drain.
It's not that bad. He's easily redeemable, and he's quite likable. You're not wrong, whoever said he was quite likable.
we know it isn't a globe. So yes, I am a globe denier, and this was my open letter to globers. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, fondle my bell.
He's honest though. 1 second. He's honest. He doesn't realise how honest he's being. When he's saying he's a globe denier, there's loads of people out there calling themselves flat earthers who actually aren't flat earthers, they're globe deniers. Because they don't understand how the earth is measured. The earth is measured as to be a horizontal plane with topography above and below that horizontal plane, vertically above and below the horizontal plane. Right? That, as a description, makes the earth flat. End of story. He doesn't seem to realise that. And a lot of others suppose it's flat earth.
You're giving him props, basically.
When you know that, when you know that, you know the earth is flat. You're not a globe denier. I was never a globe denier. Never. So a lot of people out there are.
Well, we became quite the contrary. We became globe researchers, didn't we?
Maybe up to a point we had to be.
Yeah. Well, we had to learn our opponent's position because suddenly they're challenging us about things that we hadn't made claims about and foisting upon us their beliefs in what a bull would do and how that would be a perfect explanation for something you haven't made a claim for. So suddenly you find yourself learning all about how the globe works. Perfect, right? Oh, so you become a flat earther. Well, what should happen to you? Well, what you need is globe re-education. Now spend the rest of your time learning how Earth curve works, how orbits work. Anyway, go and let him know. At Nathan 1980 sent me the channel. Videographer is not paranoid. Video, as he's just suggested, is an open letter to globe believers. Love from a flat earther. So check him out. I've just subscribed to him. Maybe you'll want to do the same, but help him along in the YouTube algorithm. Give him a like, give him a view, give him a comment. Good stuff. Thanks, Liam. Good suggestion.
No problem. It was good laugh.
Yeah, but now maybe he'll get to be in a position, having heard us justify why Earth is measured flat. Not just us saying we know it is, but giving him, easy, tangible, verifiable, double-checkable, evidentiary standards that are utilised always, without exception, when measuring the Earth. And its flatness, that he could then say to someone who asks, perhaps, do you know for sure and without a doubt the Earth is flat? He could say, yes. But prior to now, as Brian was giving him props for it, he couldn't. He's like, I'm a globe denier. He's basically what an anti-flat earther is if he just falls the other side of that knife edge. He's rolling down the hill towards anti-flat earthism and has accepted his own ignorance. I don't know what's what, he said. So he's got a bit of humility. Brian was only talking about this on yesterday's pre-show. How much it annoys him in his opponents. And he's absolutely right. This guy, he's a little bit more humble. He's accepted his own ignorance. And then suddenly he's realising that in so doing, oh, right, you'll accept your ignorance. Have 50,000 tons of mine, says every other bull-believing dick who's also on the same path he is. But they don't want to accept the responsibility. They want it on his shoulders. Because he's openly said, oh, yeah, I'm accepting that I'm realising that I've been lied to. and I don't really know what's what. So I'm a globe denier. What's that? You want to call me a flat earther and put the world of weight on my shoulders? Because you are also looking into it, but are too scared of what the society around you might say to you because you're not a conformist cuck anymore. So you need me to be the bad guy? Yeah.
But
meanwhile, Earth's just flat.
funny,
That's it. The conclusion is Earth's just flat. You don't need to worry about any of this social nonsense because it's irrelevant. Who cares what next man thinks, mate? Don't matter. You know Earth's flat now. If you've come here, if you've listened to me or Brian or anybody on this panel, you'll know Earth's flat. Then you've got a couple of choices. Get on with your day, knowing Earth's flat without a doubt for sure, because it's measured that way. Or you can go around making everyone else's day a misery, unnecessarily if they're not in your face telling you Earth's a globe. Come on, Brian.
Or you can hit PayPal.
I think Chocolate wanted to say something, but I'll say something after Chocolate.
Or you can support me via PayPal. Or if there's a very limited hangout one day, you can listen to me babbling on about my sidelining microphones temporarily while I'm writing a book and not moan about it. I'm also, just to make this clear,
I just want to say
just
good morning.
going to clear one thing up, Chocolate. Sorry. Hello, by the way.
Morning.
Morning. Somebody said yesterday, do you want me to buy a microphone? What would you suggest for blah, blah, blah? I definitely am not suggesting in any way, shape or form that random flat earthers who come to this channel and hear me babbling on about some random microphone, I'm not suggesting you go and buy it to support me, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I still do want support. I'm not making $1 million out of microphones. I'm just about making ends meet where I wasn't. Literally, it had gone under the amount that I need to make ends meet, doing YouTubing, that is, which is desperately tragic. But there's a reason. In other words, it's not just occurred. Where I'd normally keep an eye on the stats, I'm writing a book. It's nearly finished. But as we were approaching the end line, I don't want to suddenly lose my, roof over my head. So I've had to do something about that, and that's microphones. So I'm going to talk about them. But that doesn't mean I want my flat earth audience to go and buy a microphone. I just want to make that absolutely clear. That said, when I do put a video out about a specific microphone, obviously the YouTube algorithm would direct somebody who was looking for that specifically to my video. And if that person happened to click on the link to the eBay store and buy it, I'd be delighted that the YouTube videography aspect of my life has afforded me the ability to market a microphone successfully via this conduit. But that isn't why I'm talking about them. It's just something I enjoy doing. And I'm not saying when I say, oh, this is a great vintage Japanese microphone down a lens, that I'm suggesting you, a flat earther, go and buy it. That isn't the purpose. I just really, really want to reiterate that, because it was really touching yesterday. Somebody said, oh, I want to help you out. Is there a microphone I can use for blah, blah, blah? I was really flattered, but then it suddenly occurred to me, I don't want these two things to cross. They're not intended to cross over with one another. One's a sideline, a side hustle that's just literally doing it to keep the lights on for me. That's the only purpose. Now, if you're like, oh no, I really want to support you, like, okay, buy the book when it comes out, and I don't know, buy a membership, or hit the super chat, do something like that to support me. I'd much prefer that, and make a comment about a flat Earth that we definitely measure in the super chat, because that's eventually the microphone thing will disappear. Like acoustically treating this room. It's done. I don't have to talk about it anymore. There's no chance I'm going to talk about the next panel I'm buying. I ain't buying any. Same with microphones. Once I've finished buying them, which I'm pretty certain I have, I've got about £2,000 into spending on microphones. I don't think I need to do any more. And don't panic. I've turned over those microphones. So, it's probably only maybe £800 or £900 worth of microphones that I currently have invested in. So I've got a little side hustle where money can keep coming in from things I flog that I've bought dirt cheap. So there we go. That's that. Just wanted to clear that up right at the end of the show. Or towards the end.
How do you feel about being rejected by some of the other earthers?
There's a lot of loaded questions in there. Which flat earthers are you suggesting have rejected me?
No, not really.
So you want to talk about the personal stuff, people,
I think
right?
I know why.
But you were asking me.
No, I think I know why.
I thought you were asking me.
Real voice?
Is it just me, or is my response about a question I've just literally had put to me isn't going to be met with Hayuka's answer to his own question? I'm not going to tolerate you asking me something and then suggesting that you're going to give the answer to why the loaded question you imply, has an answer from you. Now, whether or not I choose to answer your question, Hyuka, is up to me. You've asked me. And I didn't invite a response to your question from you about me, did I? No. The answer to that question is no. It wasn't rhetorical, Hyuka. You don't seem to want to answer my questions at all, do you? You just want to answer the questions you put to me about me. What a wanker.
Which question did you want to ask me?
I didn't want to ask you anything. I have absolutely no desire to find anything out from you. I think you're a wanker. That's why nobody's talking to you, wanker. Maybe that wasn't clear. Maybe you thought in your deluded mind that everybody wanted to talk to you, when in reality, nobody wants to.
Actually kind of laughing about your little voice change mishap the other day. That was
very
kind of
amusing.
Funny.
It was very cute.
Yeah, cute.
Who's that? Is that Eli?
Yeah,
hello? Hello?
I wonder which way Eli. I wonder which way Eli voted.
What are you trying to do? Huh? Dissension in the ranks?
You know.
Why don't you go get a job?
You know the numbers. You know the number, 6,000.
You know, around my way, what they call people like you is a cornball.
Cornball?
That's what you are.
Cornball? They use that phraseology in the hood?
Oh, yeah.
The knucklehead where I live.
You are aware of a number, 6,000.
You know what I call them? A do-do-do.
Not a number you recognize?
To talk to you.
Anything else? Anything of substance you got?
No, he's got nothing, Chocolate.
Oh, yeah. You know,
He's
if you
definitely got no
multiply
evidence
90
of Earth
by
measurements.
69.
That's one thing he hasn't got.
Come on, Elder
What's
Bear,
the
use your
answer,
real
one
voice.
day?
We can't hear you properly.
69 multiplied by 90. What's that number?
I don't know. Go use your calculator.
Why are you asking? What's the point of this? Does it have relevance to an Earth that's measured flat by any chance? Sounds like a flat Earth measurement.
Oh, yeah. It's the distance from the North Pole to the equator on flat Earth.
On a flat Earth that we'd be measuring to get it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. So we measure Earth flat.
6,210 miles.
So we measure Earth flat with this question. Let's just summarise what's going on before Hyuka launches into a load of waffle through the top of this little summary that I'm going to give my audience with Hyuka's example. We are absolutely, without question, unequivocally measuring Earth flat with this example.
Yes, I agree.
Excellent. Earth's measured flat. Very useful that Hyuka would come to our Discord server and make it plain with his examples that we will be measuring an Earth that is flat, because that's the main purpose of us being here, Hyuka. It's nice that for a change, you're useful. Was it just me, or was me pointing out how useful your flat Earth measurement and acceptance of an Earth that is measured flat in this example would be? Would it be me that you'd be waffling through while I make that nice and clear? Good job I closed the line while this wanker chanted through me, summarising how flat Earth must be for this measurement. I'm sorry, I do have control of my show, Hyuka. When you decide that you're going to yammer through the top of me summarising how Earth must be flat for this, it didn't reach the audience. I was nice and unimpeded. Good job I can keep control of my show.
Oh, I apologise.
No need. It's all good. LJ, thank you very much for the super chat. What will happen when FE goes mainstream everywhere? It's a reification fallacy. Flat Earth is just what we measure Earth as when we use Earth for anything. Like Hyuka's example a minute ago. We're using Earth for a measurement that we're going to minus from 90. A degree measurement with a flat baseline in tow. Now, that's not mainstreamable. It's just a measurement of Earth. So for people who reify it into a social thing or a group thing, that can go mainstream, but those flurfs are just easily confused, led astray, nonsense wafflers that can chat nonsense waffle. Well, here we just take things that are
I
opponents.
agree with you.
In this case, Hayuka, who's going to start talking through me. I better close the line because Hayuka's decided he's going to do what he just apologised for doing again. Shocking. Yeah, I'll take the nonsense waffler's only useful statement about a question about Earth that will be measured flat in the first instance before we do a damn thing, and point out to my audience with attempts of obfuscation with him through the top of me and me having to close the line so it won't happen. Point out just how Earth will be flat with that example. I mean, he's asked me other kinds of crap that is totally unrelated to that. Now, those other related crap things could be associated to a group that's called Flat Earth. And that's why you'd want to do those things. Have groups that are called Flat Earth rather than the measurement of Earth. If you can make Earth and its measurement nothing to do with Flat Earth and the people and what they think and see and how they're voted about in servers, if you can make those things Flat Earth, you can very quickly belittle them and make it seem like Earth isn't just measured flat like it absolutely is. Now, that was a pretty good answer to a $2 super chat. I think you'll all agree. Shout out to... I can't read who this super chat's from. Robert. Oh, it's Robert. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. No, Matt 5. What anybody says, I like your tech talk. I don't know what that means. It was barely in English. But it's going to get a like and a heart. Thank you very much, Robert, for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Any more for any more?
Yeah. Funny enough, I was saying yesterday that I never get a concession of the ballers. I mean, a concession today. Now that concession could be a trick concession, and he's likely to turn his concession into something else. But it's still got a concession. Just there was a baller saying that.
But about the circumference?
Forget it. Hayuka has you need to measure the circumference of your lines, Hayuka.
But Nathan told us that he has a circumference of 24,900 miles on the equator on the flat Earth. But he has a radius of 6,210 miles.
If Nathan said that, did you say that?
When did Nathan say that?
Who cares?
Oh, yeah.
We've got a flat Earth prerequisite in terms of the elevation angle. And we've had it. It doesn't want a response. Miles. He wants to keep talking through the top of my response to him. Obviously, it's not tolerable that I would actually respond to his statements. So he needs to keep talking. You're a wanker. Me trying to communicate you is met with you talking through the top of me. Wanker. Why would I have this conversation with you? Meanwhile, in conclusion, we've got a concession from Hayuka, who's now talking through the top of me again. Obviously, it's going to be devastating when I summarise how Earth's been measured flat and he's conceded to that fact. I mean, as far as my audience is concerned, Hayuka, there's a second interruption to this exact same sentence. There's Hayuka interrupting me for a second time while I point out that his standard and concession today here, third interruption, same sentence, what a wanker, is that Earth's measured flat. We got a nice, clear concession of what the prerequisites would be, and from him, we got it confirmed. So we're all clear. It doesn't matter what Nathan said. Let's just fast forward. Nathan got it completely wrong, Hayuka. Your example's perfectly acceptable. Nathan's fallible. And as a single individual person, he got something wrong. Meanwhile, he got something right today, didn't he? Because he got you to tell his audience, somebody who's not a flat earther and says Earth isn't flat, right, because we measure with respect to baselines how flat it isn't. Yeah, your voice changer was off, dickhead. We know who you are, you abject spastic. Hello? You conceded Earth's measured flat. Does it matter what I say as one man? No, but you think if you belittle me, the man Nathan Oakley, it somehow makes Earth not flat when you're using a flat Earth in your example.
You belittle yourself. Do the maths. Do the maths. Wait.
We'll do the maths with the angles that are required on a flat Earth that you conceded to earlier, shall we?
How do you get a circumference of 24?
So you're asking a question about how we get something, and I keep telling you, how we get it is with respect to those angles off a flat Earth that you conceded to earlier. So my job here is done. My audience understands because you've told them that we measure a flat Earth, Hayuka. So given that we measure a flat Earth and you've conceded to that, what more do I need to do? Do you want me to admit that I'm fallible and get things wrong? Okay. I do. But we also measure Earth flat, and you know that, don't you? Cat got your tongue when it's an awkward sentence to answer, eh, Hayuka? Is it only when I'm talking about how we measure Earth flat that you need to reply? Yeah, 'cause you're a wanker. I don't need to engage with you about the things I've got wrong. You're not here to mentor me. You're not trying to help me along in my ignorance that I sometimes get things wrong with. Because often I get things right, Hayuka, like how we measure Earth flat, and you concede that fact. But you won't help me along and acknowledge those things, will you? What a wanker. Yeah, Brian, he's one of those guys that expects me at the end of this process that I'm not allowing him to go through with me to somehow admit that I'm wrong. Now I've already done that in advance. I took away the sting immediately. But when we get to him acknowledging how wrong he is about how Earth isn't measured flat, he doesn't seem to want to acknowledge that fact that he conceded to earlier, that it absolutely is without question. He doesn't want to give me that concession, do you, Hayuka? No, you do not. So why in unholy hell would I give you that at the end of a process where you demean me in something you perceive I've got wrong? Because when you've got it wrong about how Earth isn't measured flat, it definitely is. You conceded to it. You've already given it me. But when we reiterate that fact, you're silent. But you expect me to what? Extend my humility to you when you give me a gotcha example, don't you, Hayuka?
I think you'll find it's the reason you won't go to 24/7 anymore.
No, I think that's you divining the thoughts of another man, because I have no idea what you're talking about in terms of going to 24/7. In terms of 24/7, I used a word that in terms of social etiquette is now deemed unusable. The word is nigger. And apparently when you use this word, you can be permabanned from a server because somebody else playing that word, said by a man with spite towards black people, and my desire to diffuse that word is a justification to remove a flat earther from a server he spent 10 to 12 months disseminating how Earth is measured flat. Like you conceded earlier, Hayuka.
Tell yourself that.
Is that Hayuka interrupting me at the crescendo of how Earth is measured flat? I think it is. We had lots of silences when he was invited to concede, but now it's the crescendo of how the actual summary of... Oh, no, there's the second interruption to this sentence from somebody who's obviously scared to answer when I'm not talking. We'll try that again for a third time with Hayuka's interruptions on mute, because he can't contain himself while I explain the circumstance that he asked specifically about... Oh, no, he didn't ask. He made an aspersion about why something would be occurring in 24/7, and now I'm detailing it. He's interrupting me. Of course. He's a wanker. Meanwhile, he's conceded Earth's flat. That's how we measure it, and all questions and prerequisites that are put to me in that regard have been conceded by him here today, haven't they? So I definitely did something right, but I didn't get any concession from you about how wrong you'd be about how Earth flatness isn't the case. You went silent there, Hayuka, and have only seemed to see fit to talk while I'm talking in the meantime.
No, I agreed. Don't you?
Excellent. So Earth is measured flat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but
you stuttery tosser. That's right. But it's no buts, mate. Earth is measured flat. Now these stuttery wankers can come here and try and make me as an individual look silly and chat skank and talk through me like Hayuka's doing right now. Because it's the only tactic that Hayuka's got in the face of the fact he's conceded just how flat Earth will be measured. I know it, and Hayuka knows it, but he also knows if he can talk through me enough, he might irritate me. And me, the individual, if he can discredit me, the individual, or he can show how I've got something wrong as an individual, suddenly Earth isn't flat, even though he's conceded that's how it's measured. Oh, it absolutely is. So my job's done here. Done with you. Done with wankers who just want to make me look bad. They don't care about the fact Earth's measured flat if they can make Nathan Oakley look like he doesn't understand something. Right, Hayuka? No, Cat's got his tongue. It was only the last 5 interruptions while I was answering his questions. He put to me about why I'm not in 24/7 anymore. And now he's chanting straight through the middle of me again, in spite of the long pause he just had. This is how we have to have our dealings with on a daily basis when wankers are concerned. They like to talk when I'm talking, right, Hayuka? Again, I'm in the middle of a sentence after leaving a pause for him to reply. And what do you know? He's talking again through the middle of me. This is how wankers deal with us. Yeah, because they know it's measured flat, but making me look bad might change it. It won't. You're just a wanker, Hayuka. I hope you understand. You're a wanker. Earth's measured flat, though. You being an individualistic wanker doesn't change how Earth is measured either. Me getting the win and showing the audience just how big a wanker you are as you come off mute in the middle of this sentence that I'm in the middle of. Why are you off mute? I'm in the middle of the sentence, Hayuka. Clearly I haven't invited a response from you. You're off mute, ready to talk, but then there's a question put to him, and we get a stony silence, undoubtedly. Now I've started talking again after inviting a response with him on mute. He will start talking, because he's a, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen, wanker. Yeah? This is wanker behaviour. We know the tactics so well, because we've dealt with this for 10 years. Shilly, paid wankery behaviour. A bit like omnivore. Are you paid to be here, Hyuga?
No, but 10 years and you didn't count the maths. Very strange.
Yeah, back to a personal attack on me. Just exactly as predicted. So with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980... Oops. My monitor's in front of my camera. There we go. If you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow.
At night, with your little globe teddy bear. That's cool. We're here for you. Because we're nice people.
So you're saying he wants to be one of the cool kids and he just can't? But he wants to so desperately be in the cool clique. So he comes in as an arse.
I thought he was already in the cool clique.
10th man gave it to you.
I thought they were already in the cool. We're the ones that are not cool. So why do you want to be here being not cool with us?
Yeah.
That's weird.
You speak for yourself there, Chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not cool at all. Go ahead, Elder Yoka.
What is there to go ahead with? Nobody ever listens.
Well, maybe say something. Maybe try to have a coherent conversation without trying to attack somebody. Maybe that can happen for you.
Yeah, like now answer the question, not when somebody's talking.
What? Did you add it up?
Add up what? Hayuka, Earth is measured flat. What are you adding up?
Neil,
6,210 miles is your radius. 24,900 is your circumference.
What radius?
Those are globe measurements that are alleged based on flat Earth measurements.
Oh, the distance from the North Pole to the equator, 90 multiplied by 69 miles. It's easy. Just do your math.
What about it? That's not our math. I've said the second time. That's globe assertions. Second time. Are you deaf? Are you mistaken about whose math this is?
To your flat Earth measurements. You said so yesterday. Fundamental.
So these are flat Earth measurements. They're not mine. They're not mine. I'm answering you.
69 miles.
I'm answering you. We heard you. They're not mine. Right? I haven't got an equator. Equator's not mine. Misapprehensions about what are my measurements.
Oh, yes, you have.
Really? When did I measure this?
That's why they don't want
When did I measure it? When did I measure it? Are you deaf? Is it only when I'm talking, dumbass? When did I measure it? When did I say I measured this?
Oh, ask the guys. Ask the guys in here.
Ask the guys? Guys, when did I say I measured this? Guys!
1 degree.
I'm asking
69
the
miles.
guys. Hello?
Oh, he's going to
The
keep
flat
talking.
Earth.
I'm asking the
forever. Why
guys.
won't he shut up?
You said, ask the guys. So I'm asking the
You
guys.
don't want to hear it.
So when did I say I measured this? Is this a globe measurement that you're a bit confused about? It's not. It's a flat Earth measurement. So whose is it? Are we ever going to find out? My God, you're stupid. Were you dropped on your head? Do you not understand? You're being asked a question. Hello? Do I need to say it in a really high pitch like you just did to me? I asked the guys. Hey guys, when did I say I measured this? He's saying it's mine. No, it's not mine. It's a flat Earth prerequisite. You dumbass. You idiot. No.
That's all you have?
What, to point out that it's a flat Earth prerequisite? Yeah, that's pretty much all I need. Okay then, well we're done here. Earth is measured flat. For this dumbass globe assertion. It's not mine. Hugo was a bit confused. Nate, retarded. It seems you're retarded. I asked you 3 frickin' times, retard. Then you told me to, let's just imitate you. Ask the boys! Hello?
Let's see if Brian
You didn't answer my question. Were you dropped on your head? I asked you if you were dropped on your head and you didn't seem to give me a reply.
He knows about
He knows if he was dropped on his head or not. I'd just like to get that cleared away. Were you dropped on your head? What's going on? Not hearing me? It's not my measurement. It's not ever been claimed to be measured by me. I've asked the boys, and we've established that these stupid ass globe assertions, not mine, require a flat Earth prerequisite. So are we done? Is that all I've got? It's definitely all I need to prove Earth's measured flat. Okay then, we're done, Hyuka. You're off mute but not chanting through me this time. Jolly good. We've squared everything away. Earth is flat. Glad we cleared this up. Now, why would you be here? And in Bev server under different cowardly names that you have because you haven't got your, cowardly brave pills today to use your real name? Let's try that. Let's see if you can answer that question, Heiko. My name's Nathan. What's your name? No? Try that again. My name is Nathan Oakley. I'm a human male. I live in Leamington Spa. What's your name? No, just go by the cowardly screen name that you hide behind, right? Internet troll then, yeah? Don't want to come and meet me and say your name and shake my hand like a real man. You're a pathetic little cuck of a pathetic little troll with a pathetic little screen name that you've made up for yourself. A couple of them, right? Edabear? Couple of different cowardly screen names because you're just too cowardly to tell me what your name is. Shake my hand like a man. I could shoot the breeze about how Earth's measured flat, mate. If I knew your name. But unfortunately, what I deal with, Hyuka, is internet cowards. Little pathetic men that hide behind pathetic little names they make up for themselves. You understand me? Did you want to critique something I got wrong there, you pathetic little globe troll? Hiding behind your name? We'll try that for a 4th time. My name's Nathan Oakley. What's your name? It's called an introduction. It's something I have to teach to my little children. Something that in early parts of their life they've understood is a fundamental part of living around other people. Like introducing yourself to them and finding out what their name is. I suggest to them that they repeat the person's name several times so that they memorise it for the next time they meet them. I'm not getting that opportunity with you, Hyuka, you globe pathetic coward cuck of a globe troll. Why would that be? That got your tongue, globe troll? All I'm doing is asking for your name. What is your name? Did your mother not teach you this? Father not teach you? Introductions, it's called. Look it up. Hello? You want to discuss how I behave, yet you won't even introduce yourself. Are you not ashamed of how pathetic you are, sir? Hello? Do you not feel like you're an embarrassment to yourself, sir? No? No, it's only when he's critiquing me and something he perceives I've got wrong after we measure an Earth that's flat that he would concede. I see. Now, I prefer to deal with real men, not pathetic cowards, not pathetic internet trolls with fake, stupid names. Real men is what I prefer to deal with, Hugo. When asking somebody specifically who's saw fit to critique what I do, me being Nathan Oakley, a real man with a real name who's prepared to shake people by the hand, when I deal with internet cucks, trolls, cowards, who won't even bleed and introduce themselves, I don't see fit to have to justify anything to you about what you say I've got from 10th Man or how I've measured it. You understand? What's your name? You represent every other pathetic coward internet troll, Hayuka. Yeah? I can picture what you like
question,
on your
Nathan.
desk, on your dirty desk with all your trash around you.
I say, what's your name? Who's your daddy?
An internet troll. You're a nobody. A nobody who's given himself a fake name, self-appointed nobody with a self-appointed fake name. Sad little man.
He also
Meanwhile,
gets things wrong regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to
Brian,
throw
what
that
has he
in.
got wrong?
I got a lot of things wrong in the past, and he wouldn't concede. All he did was one day he actually started attacking Nathan, asking him questions about his kids. Now, why would you be asking Nathan questions about his children when you should be focusing on conceding that you're wrong about a geometric point or whatever?
Oh, he won't. He
I don't
just
know.
said Brian. Brian knows. I wanted to ask you,
Yeah,
what
why
do
would
you
I
know,
want
Brian?
why would I
Brian.
want to speak to you, Elder Bear? Why would I speak to him?
Well, maybe you could put Nathan straight, Brian, on the maths.
Oh, you
Look
can
at the
talk
maths.
now.
I can
Elder
put
Bear.
you straight.
Oh.
I can put you straight. I can put you straight. You crave attention. That's what's wrong with you. And you think, because you hang around over beds, that you've got some tricky argument that's really clever. But I guarantee you that that tricky argument will fail. Because they all fail. You don't have anything. You're just an attention seeker and a liar. And when push comes to shove, you want to talk about Nathan's children instead of conceding that you're wrong. You want to keep talking to me? Do you?
Good summary.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
can
know
explain
exactly who and what
the
Elder
numbers,
Bear
Brian.
is.
You
I don't
can
have to
explain-
meet
go on.
Elder Bear in
Explain the
person
numbers.
to know who and
Come on.
what he is. I know exactly what kind of
Explain.
low-life person he is.
Explain the numbers.
You're just a liar and a waste of time. You are one of those guys who
Come on,
sits
Brian.
around
You
with a
can't.
hate-filled face on the looking at his computer screen with his mouse or on his phone, hating people, thinking he's clever when really all he is just a hateful man.
Oh, the calculator doesn't lie.
Doesn't lie about you, Elder Bear. Now, why are you still over on my channel?
Wow,
Do I
that
have
was
to
such a
remove you
great
off my
line.
channel, Elder Bear? 1 second, sorry. Do I have to remove you off my channel, Elder Bear? Because I keep telling you, go away, liar, and you keep on not going away.
Yeah, nobody wants you here. Haven't we made that clear? You're not one of the cool kids.
I was pointing out that nobody wants Nathan.
you're talking about I'm married with 2 kids. 2 of them can't
Except
escape me.
you, apparently. And here talking to Nathan every day. So you want him? Is that? I mean,
He's obsessed with
did you
Nathan.
show up
He's
to
absolutely
point out that
obsessed.
nobody wants him? Like, really? Is this really what you got? Like, this is how you
Probably
wake up
projection.
and like,
One
I'm gonna
deck
go into
knows what's
Nathan's
going
server
on.
and do this crap. That's what you got?
One deck knows what's going
He's
on.
got a crush on Nathan.
Well, yeah, he hangs about in 24/7. He'll tell you. He'll tell you.
He just did. He said you've got a crush on me. Is he right?
We'll take that as a
He
yes.
knows who his boss
It's
is.
the bald head, isn't it? Nathan, he likes your bald head.
Come on, you got a crush on Nathan, admit it.
Have you done the maths, one deck?
Maps of what?
Yes. Elevation angle, flat Earth. It's over. Goodbye.
Yeah, the sextant doesn't lie, mate.
Have you done the
Earth is
maths,
flat,
Yoka?
stationary, and I've seen it from 54,000 feet, 4 separate times, as a passenger in a F-18 Super Hornet dual seat, and 360 degrees of flat and stationary. Period.
Nah, this is strange. I won't think anything conspiratorial about it. But now you're coming in right after Elder Bear. Hmm.
No, Neil, I've been listening to the whole show. I just decided to step in because that guy is full of nonsense.
Well, it wasn't total nonsense because it described how Earth is actually measured flat, and we've recorded that. We've flipped it.
You'll have to be more specific. Which guy you're talking about? Does this work?
Who knows? It could be Elder Bear, could be Edda Bear, could be Hayuka.
Yeah. Is it hyena or hyoka? Yeah.
He's got an unholy trinity. That's what he's got. They're all 3 in 1.
I remember that Flat Earth University guy who claimed to be a pilot, and of course, when actually questioned about it, it's like, oh no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Oh, here's
I'm not a
another
pilot,
one.
but I was a
Omnivore pipes
passenger.
up.
Sorry, Neil.
Ground control to Wolfie Clown Show. We have a man observing you from a non-inertial turning reference frame. Please make micro adjustments immediately.
Cage.
How does this sound? I can't believe this works.
Yeah, it sounds like you're
Does this sound like a pilot?
like you're on a radio or whatever, a mic or something, a radio.
This is a
CB
1960s
radio.
Sanyo microphone, and it is square.
Is it?
It's a square microphone.
1960s. Oh my god.
I think it's 1960s. Yeah, pretty funky. Yeah.
Mono.
Yeah.
Monologue.
Ground control to Wolfie Clown Show. Please make micro adjustments immediately.
I like your Neil Young microphone, man. That's nice.
Oh, that's sold. That sold yesterday.
Yeah, I heard. I saw that.
Man, I would have had that. Fuck yeah.
The guy bought it and was like, I was like, thank you for purchasing the Neil Young non-functional microphone. I hope you enjoy it. I included the stand. And he got back to me and was like, non-functional? Where did it say it was non-functional? I'm like, are you having me on? So I went through the ads. I'm like, there's about 5 different places. This mic does not work. This mic is non-functional. This mic has not been tested. The cable has deteriorated. I'm not getting any sound out of this microphone. There's things like that throughout the whole of the advert. It's everywhere. And then there's a video attached to it with me going, I wish I could get this mic to work, but the cable's deteriorated. I can't get this mic to work. It's like, where does it say it's non-functional? You're like, no, that was one of the very disappointing mics that didn't work.
Mesmerized by the actual mic. He was mesmerized, and he ignored all the other stuff. He just wanted that mic. He just ignored your little statements there that it didn't work. That wasn't functional.
Don't blame him.
Hang on a minute. Is that Neil Young mic gone, Nathan? Is a Neil Young mic gone?
Yeah, that's been sold. I posted it yesterday.
Oh.
What'd you get for it?
£40.
50 quid?
40. Well, I don't get anything like that. I think I ended up netting about £32 because of the eBay fees. I do pay for them to publish it. Anyway, out with the old. This is a Sanyo square microphone from the 1960s. How does it sound? Let's have a listen.
It sounds like you're on a CB radio.
Sounds like I'm on a CB radio. Oh, yeah, it does. I'm just playing it through my monitors. Oh, yeah, this sounds absolutely ace.
Yeah, top. Yeah, one Adam 12. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. I like this. What I'm about to do is jerry rig the thing. So
I like it too.
An old 1960s tape connection on it with 2 prongs. Then I have to
Excellent.
put an adapter into that, and then an extension into that, and it works. Happy days.
Oh, it sounds great. Sounds like you're in a cop car, like radioing the station.
Calling all cars, calling all cars. That's got to be worth a tenner.
You got to say right away, Michael.
That's what I was just going to say. Michael.
Give me a Knight Rider line then.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, give
David,
me a line to deliver from Knight Rider. You've got right away, Michael, or something like
That was pretty good. You say, I am the voice of the Night Industries 2000.
I am the voice. What is it? I'm the voice of the Night Industries 2000.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the voice of the Night Industries 2000.
That's what you sound like. You're on a radio station.
Robert,
come
you're
on,
ruining
man.
it, Robert.
You're ruining it.
Oh,
You got to
sorry,
relax
sorry.
again. Hold on. Let's get this straight right now. Robert, relax. Let people finish talking, then speak. Wait at least 3 seconds.
I love you guys. It just, I can't help it. I'm sorry.
No, it's completely ruined it for me now, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry.
No, you have to say that now, Nathan. I want to hear that phrase.
Repeat.
I am the voice of the Night Industries 1000.
Michael.
That's
You say 1,000. It's 2.
This is the voice of the Mike Industries 1000.
Was that a? Did he have a
1,000
Camaro?
The old and busted version.
The old and busted version, yeah, you've got it, the 1960s square version. Anyway, this one's a winner. Jolly good. I like it when they work. This was
What
the
do you
first
ask
in a box,
that,
right?
like,
I might as
what
well
you
show
want?
this. That's the last thing I will say. Sorry, Robert. I know I had just said I'd finish,
Yeah.
right? We'll show this on camera.
No problem.
So this
No
this
worries.
arrived, a
Yeah.
box full of a random assortment of microphones, which is right up my street, right? Might be gold, might be treasure, probably a load of polished turds that I will have to chuck in the bin. But if the first one comes out of the box and immediately works, that's got to be a good sign, right? And there's loads of them. It's just a box full of microphones. Anyway, I'm done.
I have one question. How do I watch the video? Like, I'm in Discord. Can I actually watch the show? Like, is the show still
Can
continuing?
someone give Robert the
Like-
Master B link?
Oh, the Master B link. Okay. Got it.
I'm being sarcastic. I should explain that because otherwise it's an in-joke. So
Well,
I have
yeah,
an internal
because
panel. They
yeah.
get to watch videos. You're in the peanut gallery, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I am. I'm new
Do
to this.
not
Hey, this is about
send him a Master B.
Okay, where's Master B? Just explain, please.
Don't you worry about that.
No, please. Damn. I'm one of you guys. Utes. I'm one of you guys.
You have not passed the Brian test yet.
He's absolutely not one of us.
Brian, do you trust me? I noticed somebody, was it Eddie Bear, he asking who I was in your comment section. Who's Guns? And you said, I don't have any idea.
You
I have no idea.
you
Just
actually
been
sound
around
like
for 10
Brenda to me.
years.
He does sound a bit like Brenda. That is for sure.
Who, me? Are you kidding? I'm 100%.
Why would you say
male,
that?
man. I don't sound like Brenda. Your age. Brian, you sound like
Because
the
it's
Lucky
true.
Charms guy. Why do you guys question
A
me?
husky.
Boy, it's getting annoying.
A husky.
I'm gonna just quit. I'm quitting Flat Earth because you guys don't trust me.
It's because there's lots of shills that have just come out of the woodwork that are clearly
I know
in
the
place,
shills,
right? And
and
have
I'm
been.
not one of them. Yeah.
Well, you just don't know, Robert. You just don't know these days. Anybody could be a shill.
That's
I
not the
know a lot
reason.
more than-
The
Let's
reason
hold
is
on. We
because
need to ask the question.
I am not
Let's ask the
shill,
question.
but I know who are. I know
let's,
of many
let's just ask the
shields.
question first, Robert. Do you know
Oh, sorry.
for sure, no, it's okay, and without a doubt, that the Earth is flat?
It's measured flat. Yes. I've been up to 54,000 feet, and all I saw was flat or level, 360 degrees. You know, if the Earth was a ball, it would curve away from you, right? When you're flying, right? So, like you said you looked out the passenger window and you saw it was flat as well. When you're up in the air, the wind, actually the windshield, or however you call it, windshield, around the edge of the windshield, there's a distortion in a fighter jet. Well, you probably know that. And it actually gives a distortion, like a curve. But when you're looking through 99% of the windshield, it's flat, level, all the way around. So, and every windshield has a little distortion around the edge, like on a fighter jet. So, another thing I wanted to mention, okay, if this fighter jet could go from 0 to 1,200 miles an hour in a matter of seconds, 54,000 feet. The space shuttle took 6 minutes to get 100,000 feet. Something doesn't add up there, right? Right? 5 minutes, 6 minutes for the space shuttle to get to just a merely 100,000 feet, whereas a fighter jet can get to 54,000 in like 5 seconds. Kind of odd, don't you think?
Yeah, but what's better than that, mate? We use sea level to actually measure the Earth flat. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Very
You get your
suspicious that you'd
observations.
want us to talk about fighter jets. No offense, but I'm just enamored with my new square Sanyo microphone.
Can you get microphones that like change your voice? Like
That's all a microphone does.
I mean, to a different like, you know, like Hayoka and you know, like he's doing. What's he using a mic?
Yeah, that's literally all mics do. The only reason an engineer would use one mic over another is because it alters the sound in a way that stops them having to do something on a desk. So yeah, like that made me sound like Kit. That means I don't have to put the Kit effect on, right? If you've got a mic that already does that, then you don't have to go into the box and go, oh, let's dig out a plugin that makes someone sound like Kit. In fact, this is going to be called, on eBay, the Sanyo Kit, K-I-T, Night Industries 2000 microphone.
K-I-T-T.
Is it K-I-T-T? What's the acronym?
Hayoka.
Go on.
So I was going to ask Hayoka,
Yeah.
can you change the setting on your mic from arsehole to normal?
Hilarious.
Maybe he could come in as a third personality as Carr. Maybe he could do that.
Wasn't Carr red? Oh, no, Carr was also black, wasn't he? Carr was basically the same car because they've got more than one, kit, so to speak. So when they needed an episode with an antagonist, they had Carr, but it was the same, right? It was just the other kit.
Yeah, they introduced him as the original prototype, but they had to put him away or put him down because he went by a different program than Kit. He was strictly self-preservation. Then they were like, oh, so he'll kill somebody to to protect himself. All right, let's shut that down and make another one that preserves human life. So that's where Kit came from, and that's why Carr hates Kit, because he's like, oh, you inferior model. I love that
right.
show.
Knight Rider
Kit
was
had the
amazing,
red
wasn't
scanner.
it? It had clever plots.
Carr had the yellow scanner. Sorry.
I was going to say that they had another version of Knight Rider, but it was the red one, which was the more advanced than the 2000 version. What was that one called?
That was Knight Rider 2000, but it sucked. They should have just not did that.
With the red Camaro?
Well, they had a couple of reboots that they tried to do. They did like a Teen Knight Rider thing. That was
we
a
all-
flop.
Did you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, you weren't talking.
We do now.
Oh, my mic was off. Oh God, I just gave a speech. Okay, forget about it.
It was a good speech.
Did you hear it?
No, I was thinking about it.
You guys are hilarious.
Was it German or from
It was a
1939?
good speech.
Did it mention sea level and elevation angles being the proof of measurement of flat Earth, or was it to do with observations?
It was a story about
fighter jets.
Tom Cruise and fighter jets. It was touching.
You know, just the other day, I heard Alpha Veritas. Now, he says now that mean sea level is a point on a vertical datum.
He's wrong.
Well, that would be pretty stupid considering level requires 2 points.
It can't be a single
And it would
point.
make level not horizontal. So anyone who says that level is just a point on a vertical datum is saying level is not horizontal. Well done.
Level is horizontal. Flat, level, horizontal. They're all synonymous with each other. True.
What about point? Is a point synonymous with level?
Point.
Yeah, is
Isn't
that a
point
synonym for level?
two-dimensional?
I'm asking if that's also a synonym.
Point. I don't understand. I've never heard this. Point.
Somebody's mumbling. Who's that? Bates, you mumbling.
Yeah, you have to explain what point means. I'm sorry, I might sound clueless, but what is that? The point of saying point is?
Because Elder Bear just claimed that someone else is claiming, well, it's weak, that level is just a point on a vertical datum.
Yeah,
You
is
see that?
Elder Bear? Is Elder Bear an anti-flat earther?
Yes, we all are.
Is he the guy that you?
He's the guy that should be answering the question as opposed to you trying to help him out. You know the way you're trying to help him out? You know the way you work as a tag team? Couple of trolls?
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe you just shut up and leave him answer.
Oh.
You should shut up full time.
You should shut up too, Brian.
Yeah,
Are you
Brenda.
telling me to shut up?
You shut up.
What the hell?
All
is
of you,
going on
shut up.
here?
A point is not a line, okay? You need two. The
I
hell's
said
wrong
it's
with
a
you people?
three-dimensional. A point is a point.
Shut
It's
up,
like
Ian.
one singular. Yeah, a point. Like if you draw a point on a piece of paper, it's just a point. It's not a line or horizontal. It's just a point. True,
So
right?
it's not synonymous with level then.
You guys tell me.
What's your point, mate?
Oh, what's your point?
Is it points?
No, I'm just inquiring what Nathan. Maybe I misconstrued it or misunderstood. All that had to do with flat level
Don't
horizontal.
point your finger at Nathan.
You caught me off guard. Was that? Oh, that's upper depth. Hello, how are you?
I was pointing your finger, aren't you?
I think Brian really struggles with geometry.
I think you struggle with reality, omnivore. Reality. I know it's painful. I know. Did you hear the video today?
Why would you say
There
that
was an
on me,
open
bro?
letter to the Globers. Go ahead, Brian.
Why would you say that on me, bro? Are you claiming mean sea level as a point on a vertical table as well, omnivore?
No response.
This is what you get when you talk to Omnivore and when you talk to Hayuka. You get freaking silence. And then when somebody starts talking, they'll come in. I'm tired of you two.
Look, they all work together. They all work together. And a minute Bakes is going to come in talking about some nonsense about fighter jets. There's going to be a big red herring away from Hayuka, Elderbear, and Omnivore. It's just the same old rigmarole. None of these people have any proof for anything. They're just losers.
Brian,
Nathan,
Brian.
that was an ad hominem fallacy against Brian there. And then when he was asked to address it, he just went silent. Can you just kick him? Because this is just weird.
Sorry, I was untangling microphones. Why would you do that,
You will be
Omni?
sorry.
Did you just want to get kicked quickly? Does that put an end to your workday?
Sorry to bore you about the fighter jets. My God. Are you guys, like, what's wrong with you guys? You knuckleheads? My God.
Robert,
I was talking
you
about.
came in on a perfect trifecta. Omnivore,
Sorry.
Elderbear, Hayuka, and then you.
I'm sorry. No, I have nothing to do with Hayuka or Elderbear. They're questioning me, who I am. Elderbears as well. Like, what the hell? I've been around for 10 years. I had a different name when I first started, but I changed my name to Guns of Navarone about
Brenda.
6-7 years ago.
It was
We're
8
being
years the other
sarcastic
day.
with you.
Now it's 10. When will it be 12?
I'm Robert D. I've always have been. No, there's my name.
We're being sarcastic when we say it to you. Anyway.
No, I know that to a certain extent, but Brian, I don't know about him. I might have to fly to Ireland.
No, I'm up.
Have a pint.
I don't mess around.
Ireland
We'll have a
won't have
coffee
you.
or a pint.
Hold on,
We'll
there's another
talk about
important issue.
Ireland.
How does this one
Ireland.
sound? How's this one? Any good?
It's a bit
This one's called
That's a bit muffled, kid.
bit muffled,
echoey, low, yeah.
echoey. This one's called a robophone.
Holy smoke! Barely hear you.
Robophone.
Wait, what was it? What's it called, Nathan?
Robophone.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a listen. Let's put it up on the monitors. Hold on. Check 1, 2. It doesn't sound terrible. It sounds all right.
Sounds like Video Killed the Radio Star. That song where the guy.
Video killed the radio star. That one.
Yeah, it's muffled. It's like.
Oh, people don't like this one. Funky, yeah?
Oh.
Okay, well, they're not all winners, but it definitely works. Can't really complain about that.
Well, how many mics do you have right now? Nathan, how many mics do you have in stock?
In stock, 25, 30, something like that.
Oh, mackerel. Average price is what?
Oh, I haven't worked it out. They range from mics that cost £5 that are dirt cheap, like these ones I'm going through now, to ones that cost several £100s.
Yeah, but they'd be good for a beginner. Like you said, £5.
Not really. The ones that are what you'd call they're not cheap because they're beginner mics. They're cheap because they're difficult to adapt to work. Now, me, I know what I'm doing and I can get them to work. But no, I would say nothing I sell is for amateurs or beginners. No, definitely not.
Okay. Well, yeah, they'll have some sentimental, or whatever, history. They have history.
They're just fussy.
Like the Beatles,
they've got weird impedances. They've got weird connections. They're weird. All of them are weird. So what I've decided is, I know how all these weird mics work. So why not get them working and show that they can work, and then they can go back into service. When I was saying, yeah, they've got a bit of history, that keeps me interested. So as I hold this mic, right, this is another one of those square ones. I'll test in a second. But as I hold it, I'm thinking, what wonders has this microphone seen? What has it recorded? Right? And I can tell straight away it probably works.
How much saliva is on there?
How much? Yeah, exactly. How much saliva has this had slathered all over the capsule? But more importantly, does it work? So check one.
Oh, yeah. Do you use
another Night Industries 2000, and it does work. This is a working microphone. Another working mic out of the batch. I can't believe my luck. This is a good box of mic.
Sing Radio Star. Sing Video Killed the Radio
Star.
Exactly.
Robert, take a deep breath, Robert. Deep breath.
Right, another winner.
In with the good, out with the bad.
Yeah, because you're just talking when Nathan's talking. I'm finding it hard to hear Nathan.
Yeah. I realize that. Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. ADHD.
Oh, he's a good monkey, though, huh?
No, you're the only monkey here, Hayuka.
You're the monkey. You better be careful. You might get slapped out.
In seriousness, though, Hayuka, thank you for the concession earlier. That was great. Really great.
You don't even know what he said, Nathan.
I did. He's just a troll.
What about one deck? Does he know how the voting went over there?
Trolls are.
Why are you calling out other people?
Well, I wondered if he knew how the voting went. It's 24/7.
That's how it works, Neil.
The kids don't want you here.
If you're a zebra, not if you're a zebra, if you're a lion going after the zebras, do you go after the one at the head of the pack? Or do you go at the one that looks a bit lame at the back of the pack? Notice I'm calling one deck the lame zebra.
No, I was going to say, one deck is not lame now. I understand the analogy, but he's constantly coming in and calling people out. The cool kids want nothing to do with you. Go to the nerd corner.
I understand it was 11 to 13, or 11 out of 13 voted against
your buddy in the
Nathan.
nerd corner. How does it feel, Omnivore, when you go to speak and somebody speaks through you?
11 to 13 against me going back to politics. It's almost like that makes Earth a sphere again when the flat Earth measurements were just being talked about. I was thanking Hayuka for his concession earlier, but we should talk about an individual.
Oh.
Very lowbrow. Omni.
Okay, I was trying to tell you why you can't go there anymore.
Your name's not Omni. That's very lowbrow, Omni. I mean, we've got high-level concepts like Earth being measured flat by our opponent. Like,
I'm sure he knows.
But you want to talk about me, an individual, and whether or not one man gets banned from a server? That's a bit lowbrow. Second time. No response to that. Oh, all right, I'll make a conclusion. Oh, this guy's a wanker. He just wants to detract from how Earth's measured flat by talking about me. One man's been banned from a server? Who gives a shit? Omni, you dick. Meanwhile, Earth's measured flat. You didn't seem to want to comment on this higher level discussion about the concession I got out of Hayuka. Third time. You only want to talk about me, one man. That's kind of pathetic and lowbrow. Fourth time.
Share your finger.
You'll have to change
your name's not Omni. Do you need this white
flat Earth measurements now?
Omni, you coward. It seems like someone's coming and defending you because you can't seem to do it for yourself. You haven't responded in 3 times your white knight has defended you because you seem like a little cowering coward. Do you remember when I was calling you a coward previously? This is an example of you demonstrating what a coward you are, Omnivore.
You just have ad homs. Yeah.
No, I want to talk about the high-level discussion of Earth being measured flat by my opponent. You want to talk about server bannings. Right, Omni? We need the White Knight again. 4th time. Oh, be brave, Omni. Be brave.
Don't use the Latin if you don't know what it means.
Don't use. Try not to stutter. Try again, son. Try again. Try without a sentence fragment or stutter. On you go. Try again. No, it's okay. You can cower behind the white knights indefinitely and just stutter and stammer. Yes, stuttery cowards. Your platoon sergeant would not be impressed. Is this what he raised you to be, a stuttering, stammering coward? I want to talk about the high-level flat earth we measure. You just want to talk about how people get spun from servers. How lowbrow. Omni, 5th time. Any response to that? Just stutter.
Maybe when you decide to move on is when he'll start talking through you.
Okay, we'll try. So Earth's measured flat. My opponent conceded to it. I mean, he also, like a cowering cuck, decided that it would be better to talk about me as an individual and what I thought and what 10th Man had told me as an individual. And now maybe I could be perceived to have got something wrong. Meanwhile, I wanted to talk about the higher level stuff, like how Earth is fundamentally measured as a flat plane in all instances. What's that? You want to talk about my ban from politics? Yeah, I got banned. I said nigger. Was that what you were trying to get me to do? Say it again? I don't mind. No worries. Yeah, I didn't say it because I hate black people. I don't hate black people. Quite the contrary. When I hear someone say that word with disdain, I want to diffuse the word, like make it meaningless. Overuse it even. But that's kind of irrelevant. That's just one man and his behaviour on some server somewhere. On the higher level of discussion, Earth's measured flat. Like my opponent conceded. I mean, I've made 6 attempts with a lowbrow coward to discuss it, and all he's done is stutter at me. His platoon sergeant would definitely not be impressed with this coward, this pathetic little man that's before me, the flat earther. Try again, Omni. This time without stuttering.
Palestinian anti-flat earther. Where's the curvature?
No, I don't want to talk about curvature. There isn't any. The measurements that are alluding to curvature are also flat, like surface level and eye level. I'm hoping to talk about that.
Yeah, but they avoid that always.
Sure. Well, obviously people give them
curvature,
lifelines like you've just done.
The curvature is easy to measure. There's lots of measurements of it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You see what you did, Robert? So you see what you did?
So you say, but
Yeah, I triggered what's his face.
That's
Who
fair
is
enough.
that?
No, yeah, he's right. There is.
Wannabe ex-military guy? That guy?
No, tell us all about it, man.
omnivore. So in order to understand the measurements of curvature, you generally have to know a little bit about how the Earth model works. If you're trying to fit this into your flat Earth model, you can't analyze the data properly. So, for example, when measuring an elevation angle to a target, you have to correct for Earth curve and refraction generally, right? That's how surveyors do it. That's in the
Let's start there then. So what's an elevation angle measurement? What is that?
But so if we go through...
No, I don't. No, I don't. No. I do. But I want you to tell me what a flat Earth measurement in the form of an elevation angle is. Could you define that? That's what we'll do first, right? We'll measure an angle and then we'll apply some bullshit about a ball to it. So let's figure out what we're measuring. Elevation angle, you say. This, from this point forth, ladies and gentlemen, is me absolutely annihilating this globe-believing cuck with his own measurement. So we'll do it indefinitely. You say, not me, that we've got an elevation angle measurement. I've asked twice. I'm going to ask a third time, Omni. What's that? Could you define that which you have just said, please? Don't seem to be hearing a response.
I'll sit down with you and we'll go through it.
Well, I thought it was a globe measurement.
You're not defining
page
it.
by page.
It's all right. I can do that. Do you not want to define it? I've got 20 in front of me now. I seem to be hearing the other guy who conceded we'd be measuring Earth flat earlier instead of you, Omni. Did you need this cuck to defend you, you coward? Other men coming to your rescue? You need other men to help you with this, do you, cuck, coward? Do you want to tell him to shut up or shall I? Or do you need him? I've got 20 in front of me. That would be definitions of what an elevation angle measurement is. It's only the fourth time. Could you define that which you say we'll be measuring? It's only a few times you've been asked so far.
What angle?
It's the sorry, Omni, you
What angle are you
coward.
measuring?
You white knight's here to defend you, it seems, Omni. Omni, your white knight's defending you, making you seem very brave. That's sarcasm.
Oh, no, you have no angle. You've already said.
There he is again.
You have no angle in
There he is. You sound a lot like Omni.
So, Bates, if you're willing to do that, if you're brave enough to do that, let me know. And, you know, I'll set it up. We can look through the book together, share screen or whatever you want.
Sure,
this will be plain survey.
Let's do that now. Let's define, fifth time, what an elevation angle is. Let's do it right now.
The longest bridge in the world is 126 miles long.
Guns, shush.
China.
Guns, shut up. Shush. Or you'll be removed.
I know your script. I know your dialogue tree, Bates.
Let's just do it again, sixth time. I'm not reading a script. What I do have is 20 definitions of an elevation angle measurement in front of me. I'm asking the person who suggested that's what we'd be measuring to define it, and he seems to be telling me I've got a script. How very telling.
He's clueless.
Well,
projection much as he reads.
I know your
script
dialogue
himself.
tree. So
That's
that bridge is composed of multiple different segments. It's not all built.
So bridge, I haven't asked about a bridge. I've asked about an elevation angle measurement you said we'd be measuring. So it's now the sixth time. Are you going to define what an elevation angle measurement is? Because I've got 20 in front of me. Now, if you don't do it, I don't mind doing it, but we're definitely not talking about any bridge.
Look at a plain surveying manual that defines these things.
Okay, let's hear it then.
And we'll go through it.
Let's go through it then. Yes, let's do that now. Define what an elevation angle is, because that's what you say we'll be measuring. We seem to be procrastinating there, Omni. Go on, define it.
And these are plain surveyors, so they're not...
So he's not defining an elevation angle there, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like he's still procrastinating, so I'll ask him a seventh time. We could do it. No, it seems like you can't. You just said we could, but you're not. Why not?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Very strange. Now it's a new question, Omni, given you've had 7 opportunities to find what you said we'd be measuring when we measure Earth curve. Now, you've said we measure elevation angle, end quote, you, but you don't seem to want to define it in 8 times of being asked. That seems very suspicious. Ladies and gentlemen, we measure Earth flat with elevation angles. He knows it and I know it. And this little exercise is just a bit of fun, isn't it, Omni? You know we measure Earth flat, or you'd have answered me and defined it in one of the 8 times you're asked there, cuck, coward. Your white knights seemed very chirpy, though, while I was asking, didn't they? What gives? White knights? Earth's measured flat. Do you want to know how? With elevation angles.
It'll show you how plain surveyors measure.
You could define an elevation angle, but unless you're scared.
I mean, that's, you know, that's a
stuttering bitch right there. That's you stuttering. Yeah, soldier? Yeah, that's you stuttering, soldier. Hello? You could, you said, define an elevation angle, but now you want to talk about what the surveyors are saying? No, we could and we will define an elevation angle. That's not a request, it's an order, soldier. You said we could. Now you will.
Yeah, hope Commandante.
That's not you, Robert. I'm going to remove you from the discussion if you do that once more. Talking to the soldier named Omnivore, another coward globe troll, too scared to use his real name. Meanwhile, you coward cuck, you said we could define this elevation angle we'll be measuring on a flat Earth. But you haven't. You've had the question put to you 9 times and now you're suggesting we could talk about what the surveyors do. No, you've told us what we'll do. We'll measure an elevation angle, but we'll just define what that is first. But just to ruin the fun, because you won't do it in 10 times of being asked. It's a flat Earth measurement there, Omni. Earth's measured flat with elevation angles.
So do you want to learn about plane survey?
It's kind of
no,
weird.
I wanted to define what an elevation angle was because you said we could do that. Did you lie?
Yeah, and talked about being brave and shit.
Yeah,
Like, I
brave.
thought you were brave.
You're going to be brave and define what an elevation angle is. Be brave. It's only been 11 times that you, the cowering cuck globe believer, being absolutely annihilated by me, the righteous and brave and forthright Nathan Oakley, with his elevation angle measurements that require Earth be flat to measure them. That's why you can't define something you've said specifically you would, but haven't. So we're going to do that. Now, soldier, you are going to do it like you said you would, lest you be deemed a liar, because you said you were going to be defining it. You said it's what we'd be measuring. So what are we going to be measuring? I'll pretend I'm ignorant of this flat Earth elevation angle measurement that you speak of. What is it? Could you define it? I've only asked 13 times. Maybe I'm not brave enough to know what it is. Could you tell me? No! Omni, maybe you couldn't tell me just how we'll be measuring a flat Earth. Because you know what'll happen, Omni, when you tell me about that flat Earth we'll be needing for this elevation angle? You'll get told off. Yeah, you'll get told off by me. I'll be telling you off, Omni. Make no mistake, soldier. You're not brave, Omni. This silence is you demonstrating your cowardice. So you're going to define an elevation for me there, soldier. What is it? An elevation angle measurement. Go. Come on, soldier, this is war! Come on, soldier, you've trained for this.
I don't believe he was a soldier.
No, I think he's a liar. I think he's a coward. I don't think he would have lasted 5 seconds in the face of any enemy. I'm his enemy, and he's not doing very well. He's demonstrating admirably what a coward looks like, whilst claiming he's a brave, trained soldier. No, you're not. You're a liar. What's your name? I'll look up your rank. My name's Nathan Oakley. What's yours? Or you could define an elevation angle. Which is it going to be, brave soldier? Name or the definition of an elevation angle? You utter
1 degree
pathetic
per
cunt.
69 miles.
Right, let's remove Hayuka the White Knight. That's the 4th time he's done that.
1,210 miles.
4th time.
So
Come on, soldier, this is war! What's an elevation angle, soldier?
Let me know if you're up for it. We'll go through.
We'll stutter, will we, soldier? We'll definitely stutter over this. We'll definitely do that, won't we, Omni? Do you hear me, boy? We'll definitely stutter, won't we, boy, in the face of the enemy's advances. That'll be me, metaphorically. Keep up with the metaphors, dumbass. You're stuttering in the face of this onslaught that you're having to face down. You're chuckling. Now, I've got my question again for you. What's your name? What's your name, soldier? Name and rank, soldier. Name and rank, soldier. Seems like we've got ourselves a coward here, boys. Doesn't even want to give his name.
You won't even have to do any math, Bates. So let me know if you're interested. Anyway,
Absolutely. I'm interested in the definition of an elevation angle measurement you said would measure. Go. 14th time I've asked you. 14 times I've asked you this, you pathetic, snivelling coward of a man. 14 times. You asked me if I'm ready. I'm definitely ready for a response now. You said we measure Earth curve, and then you said what we'll measure was an elevation angle. What's that? 15 times. Gone on server deafen. Boom! That's him dying. That's him having his head explode, metaphorically speaking. Those aren't the actions of a man who's brave. When he's being asked for the 15th time to define that which he said was a measurement of Earth curve. Anybody out there thought this man was going to give you an Earth curve measurement? He told us we'd measure an elevation angle, didn't he? Then when it comes to what that is, he doesn't want to define it. He can run like a coward. You never want to appeal to how bleeding brave you were in the past when you come and face Nathan Oakley. Now, like that guy who said that, oh, no, we're all meek and mild. No, me, yeah, I'm not sitting here worried about these tossers, am I? What's he doing? Oh, he's gone on server deafen. He's stuck his fingers in the ears when asked to justify the measurement he said was of Earth curve. Now, in the face of me, you'll run like a pathetic coward. Because that's what you are, Omni. Now, while I'm not sticking my fingers in my ears while you tell me about whether or not I'm ready to receive this wonderful globe measurement that he didn't give us? No, what he did give us was a flat Earth measurement, which I'll now summarise with you on your own server, Defon. Putting your own fingers in your own ears like the coward you are. Pathetic. Let's get back to measuring microphones. Because the globe believers didn't have a measurement, did they? Yeah, they had a lot of obfuscation and a lot of talk about what one man was doing in other servers and shit like that. And then they went on server Defon when they were actually suggesting they got an Earth curve measurement. He didn't. He had a flat Earth measurement just to make sure absolutely everybody was aware. If it wasn't made abundantly clear in the coward's 15 attempts to tell us what that measurement was. He needed Hayuka in the background. Once Hayuka went on Defon, he's like, no, if I'm not here with a wingman, my contract says I don't have to carry on, so I can stick my fingers in the ears and just relieve myself. If I haven't got a relief, a backup.
I mean, what? It's a hell of a tactic, man. Like, oh, if you're brave enough, we can go through it if you like. Okay, let's go through it. Tumbleweeds. Like, I don't understand this tactic. It's so stupid.
Bulljitsu.
He wants to do it off air with Nathan alone. He's a coward.
Well,
It's bulljitsu.
Simultaneously,
They want to use flat Earth measurements.
something like that.
Bulljitsu. Sorry, Chocolate.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, I've been good for a while. We have this phenomenon going on of little chirpies from the land of misfit toys branching out, coming out of their little server and getting absolutely shellacked. Omnivore, it's not only, the pretender clown flat earthers. Omnivore stretches legs, shellacked. Frigging Torah for Yah, been stretching his legs, and Lion dumbass, I call him frickin' frack, getting absolutely decapitated. I hope a lot more come out. It's lots of fun.
Any more want to tell us that they've got an Earth curve measurement only to immediately use a flat Earth? Any more? Maybe tell us that we're not brave when we ask you to define that curve measurement that uses a flat Earth first. Maybe we need to understand about how that flat Earth measurement's applied to a Bohr model. Maybe it's that we don't understand how that flat Earth measurement's applied to a Bohr model, but for the fact that we're not going to define the flat Earth measurement in 15 times of being asked. Yes, that's us being very scared. Maybe we could do it off air. Yes. Will there be a Ballbusters this Saturday?
A good question. Possibly.
I'll possibly put in the schedule.
It's all gone very quiet. Got my first loser. This one doesn't work. Heartbreaking. You can't win them all. In the bin. Next. Oh, is that it? Oh, this is the last one. Filthy. Eesh. Right, looks like everyone's run out of steam, so I'm going to round out this show. We're going to be doing the book a bit later.
That was the plan.
Yeah, in about... well, Adam said he'd be doing his deliveries and then he'd join us, right? So he should be here relatively soon.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I will do a proper round out. With that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank yous. My camera had been knocked. No, it's good enough. To both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley and I will see you all in the next video.